matters, you need the best network and the best unlimited. Plans now start at $40 per line for 4 lines.
My 5-alarm chili makes game days better. You mean I know it, but FanDuel does too. For new players, there are beginner-only contests with real prizes to help you learn the ropes. And since you pick a new team every week, you're never sidelined with injuries or draft busts. Play for as little as $1 or compete for a share of $1 million. Or start a private contest to play against your friends. FanDuel, it's the 5-alarm chili your daily fantasy game's been waiting for.
Try FanDuel today for free. No deposit required. Use promo code FOURTH for a free shot at $10,000 in cash prizes. Introducing
the never-before-seen
next level of innovation.
Redesigned,
reimagined,
reborn,
new,
used, certified pre-owned.
Ford, Toyota,
Subaru,
Volkswagen,
Honda, GMC, featuring
backup camera,
EcoBoost, all-wheel drive,
low miles,
park assist, sport mode,
for wherever you
dream of going.
For drivers everywhere,
for the ride of your life, for the driven.
Shop all the cars, all in one place. Auto Trader. If you can't find your next car here, you won't find it anywhere.
Senor Khaled.
Who's that?
The amigos from the airport.
Who?
The amigos. You asked me to pick them up at the airport.
Yo, bro, the Migos, ATL, Bad and Bougie, Quavo, Offset, Takeoff. Come on, man. You tripping. You played yourself, man.
Don't miss the 2017 BET Hip Hop Awards, hosted by DJ Khaled. Tuesday, October 10th at 8, 7 Central.
Viva Hip Hop. Let's go.
Come on, Josh.
When someone truly believes in you, you can achieve great things, like hitting the game-winning home run. At Loan Depot, we believe in helping you achieve the American dream of owning a home. Loan Depot is the only lender that provides critical illness coverage which you can use to pay your mortgage payments, up to $30,000 in case you're unable to work.
That's impressive.
And if interest rates ever drop, you can refinance without any lender closing costs. Loan Depot, we believe in you.
Back with our head coaches here on Open Court, and as you guys know, all NBA rosters are not created equal because teams are at different points in their developmental timeline or because they got the free agent or didn't get the free agent, etc.
Would you agree with that, Mike?
No, they're all created equal, Scotty.
The question is, how...
It's all coaching.
You got some great questions tonight, man.
You some of the questions.
Every team has 4 All-Stars.
Atlanta did, right? Last year or something like that, right? Atlanta had 4.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
The question is, Dave, how do you or any coach overcome a talent deficit over the course of a full season or even within a game?
Good question. You can tinker, but to run out trick plays or special things over the course of a long season, the players aren't going to buy in. They're not going to believe in that stuff. So it's more about what you want to be about and trying to do it night to night and occasionally run some disruptions. You know, you might shadow or hit in the backcourt a trap, translated, or come out in a zone after a timeout or, you know, some of those kinds of things. But you can't trick them in the NBA generally. Everybody kind of knows what everybody else is doing and the tendencies, and there's more video than there has ever been in technology. Yeah. But I think you got to catch some nights where you're catching a team at a tough night. You need to know that that's their 4th and 5 nights, and you haven't played that. That's maybe one you target as a team that's struggling with their record to pick one off there. Some of those kinds of things. Just keeping the morale up so that you can play out the whole season. That's where you trip and fall sometimes into some win.
What do you think, Jason? Where do you find edges?
You got to have a lot of timeouts.
You get extra early.
You get extra.
You got to lobby for a couple more timeouts. You know, I think that's when you try, you know, your system. When you try to believe in the system and get the guys to believe in it, and you put guys in different situations, and everyone's going to fail. But I think when the coach can show that he can fail and stand up and get right back up and be a positive, I think guys can start to buy into that. And you look at Miami, Spo, I thought did a great job. You know, they started off slow and then flipped it around and ended the season. Those guys started to believe in being a team. And when you don't have the Golden State roster or San Antonio's roster or Washington's roster.
I like it, Jason. Yes, Washington's roster. Yeah, I'm glad you said that.
You know,
You have to, you got to compete. You got to get the guys to buy in that they got to play hard. And if you can do that, that can put you in a position to win some games.
I think Jason makes a good point. You can't guarantee wins in this league, but you can guarantee losses if you don't play hard. So if you can play hard every night, and that can be your culture. I know when I took over Washington, I didn't know much about the team, but I wanted to establish one thing, that we're going to play hard every night. So when you play us, you know that you're going to have to play well to beat us. But if you play hard, you can play against any team in this league. And that's what we try to establish to do as coaches.
They started out a little slow this year, and I'll never forget when we went to play you guys. Sashia Jones, one of the young ladies that worked for him.
She's my boss.
Oh, I can see that.
Sasha's my boss.
Yeah, she's a great girl. So I'm walking into the ring. We're visiting for a few minutes, and the one thing that she brought up, I asked, "How's Scotty doing?" She was like, "He's fantastic. It doesn't matter. We can lose, we can win, something can happen, and he's just right here. He's so good to everybody, and he's so positive that it makes everybody want to be here." And, I don't know why they started, because it's slow, because I wasn't watching. Obviously, it's newness and all that other
Injuries.
stuff. That's why. But
shooting the first month.
But to hear her as an employee say that about him as a head coach, that was obviously refreshing to hear, and you can understand how they survived that early speed bump. It's about staying. Another guy, in my opinion, that's been fantastic, not great or not good at, fantastic at, is Brett Brown. Yes. I mean, he's been put in such a tough situation in Philly. Every time I go in there, he's, "Nate, how you doing, Nate?" He's chipper, and you watch him coach on the sideline. It's positive, and he brings energy. I don't know how you can do that for as many years as he has, losing all those games.
He's been phenomenal.
Also,
unwavering
yes.
the whole time.
Yes. He's redefined what it means to overcome,
No doubt.
And that's a credit to him, obviously, and his approach. And but I think that's part of it.
Yes.
You could be making progress and losing, and if you just base everything on losing at some point, you may get the one like Dave's talking about in a 4 out of 5, but when you lose those next 4, it can beat you down.
Dave, you made an interesting point about there's more video now than ever. There's obviously more data than there's ever been in the NBA. Are there numbers you can find if you really look that can get you into the margins and give you an advantage here and there? Or is it all equal because everybody's working with the same stuff?
You love analytics.
Well, I will say.
I don't know about this.
Yes.
Oh, you didn't know he liked that?
No, my bad.
What don't you like, Scotty?
Well, I love analytics. When I have really good players.
Funny how that works.
Right? When you have a good backcourt like we do, you give yourself a chance to win.
That's right.
Regardless of what the analytics say. John's not a great three-point shooter, but he makes threes when necessary, or when he creates threes for our team. He's one of the league leaders in finding corner threes. And we talked earlier about posting up. Like Jason was one of the strongest point guards in the league. John's the same way, 6'4", 220 pounds, and he can post up. So we kind of utilized the post-up game through him. Mm-hmm. But analytics, the one thing I've known, just for myself, when it first started hitting the market, people thought this is all new. My high school coach, who was one of the best coaches I've ever played for, he taught me that a long time ago. Long time ago, he called it stats, and it was. He taught me the importance of a good shot. He taught me the importance of passing, making the extra pass. He taught me the importance of getting back and protecting the basket. So I think it's changing because there's new words and terminology, but the bottom line is you have to play the game the right way, and you have to play it through the fundamentals, and you have to play it together to give yourself a chance to win.
Stats, I remember those.
Right?
Yeah, those are pretty good. But there's just so many more of them now, and you can find a stat for anything, Dave. How much do you?
It's the same.
How much do you
It's
look
the same thing as player development. Remember back in the 80s when we'd go to two ends and you're working on your game? They didn't call it player development then either.
It's called
you know
coaching.
And now practice coaching.
We call it Coach Gerd.
Exactly. Very true. There can be too much of anything, and there's a lot of player development, apply a lot of emphasis on that now, and that's terrific. And I think we all want an edge to win, but you can suffocate yourself for 4 hours with numbers and trying to figure out little gems. And I think each philosophy is different wherever you go of what's important. If it's 3 stops in a row, well, we chart that. You know what I mean? We've had managers do that and stuff. So deflections, or then you get into the higher level of per possession numbers and compare this to that, and just like it can be too much. So I think it's important to pick a couple things that are important that you can translate to your team that can be actionable, and then you can go from there.
Well, the numbers tell me it's time for a break. We'll take one right now, and we'll come back with more Open Court head coaches.
When you draw up a play, as Coach talked about, you hope that they can run it or they don't forget.
The end of the game for us it's a time where you feel like you can hopefully have an impact.
There's nothing, though, greater than drawing up like a game-winning shot.
Juan Rodriguez Chavez and his family fought to become American citizens. He wasn't born here, but that fact never once crossed his mind. The 4 times he put himself in harm's way to save the men who were. Since 1925, we've proved that it doesn't matter where you come from, it matters what you're made of. Modelo Especial, brewed with a fighting spirit.
You guys are ready! You guys are ready!
Ticket, please.
Of course, I got it right here.
There's nothing there.
It's loading. It takes a little bit. Just give me like a minute, guys.
Here's my ticket. It's starting. Mine works.
Bob realized he needed unlimited LTE data. So he switched to Metro PCS to get the best unlimited deal in wireless. 2 lines of unlimited LTE data for only $80 period. Plus 2 free 32-gig phones. Enjoy the best unlimited deal in wireless on a reliable LTE network. Metro PCS. Wireless. Figured out.
Baba Black Sheep, have you any wool? No, sir, no, sir. Some nincompoop stole all my wool sweaters, smart TV, and gaming system. Luckily, the Geico Insurance Agency recently helped Baba with renter's insurance. Everything stolen was replaced, and the hooligan who lives down the lane was caught selling the stolen goods online. Visit geico.com and see how easy it is to switch and save on renter's insurance.
What does FanDuel do to your football season? Same thing cheese, guac, beans, salsa, and beef do to chips. Makes it better. Contests start from $1. You can play against your friends or even compete for a share of $1 million. Play to win tickets to games and incredible fan experiences. FanDuel. It's the fully loaded nachos your daily fantasy football game's been waiting for. Get free entry into the Sunday Million with over $1 million in cash prizes when you make your first deposit. Use promo code DIME.
Introducing Wendy's new Giant Junior Bacon Cheeseburger.
It's a Giant Junior?
Yeah, it's a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger with double the fresh, never frozen beef, bacon, and cheese. So it's made a big name for itself. For a limited time, get the Giant JBC meal for just $5.
Carbs to refuel. Electrolytes to help replenish what you lose in sweat. Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, and refuel.
Welcome back inside the Mandarin Oriental Las Vegas for our head coaches edition of Open Court with 5 men who dedicate their lives to making their NBA teams better pretty much year-round. Mike, what is the most obsessive thing you have ever done as a coach?
I've done a few things. I got just a little bit OCD in me, just a tiny bit, right?
It's called organizational skills.
I like it. Organizational
right.
skills.
That's what I talk from. I work for mine. He's detailed, and it's unbelievable, especially defensively. Don't be in the wrong spot. That's why his defenses are so good.
I obsess over. I'm better though now, and you can ask my boss, Steve Kerr. I'm a lot better. But practice plans.
You do know about those.
So I don't know why, but just making sure that we're organized as a staff and the whole 9 yards down to the second.
I think I was an assistant for Mike, obviously, in an organized practice plan for an assistant. For me, it gives you direction. You know, it helps. And whatever, it takes a little time. You got to prepare. But I found it to be something that you can be, you can be more supportive. You can do your job better. So I'm jumping in.
How organized are we talking about here, Mike?
Down to if there's a drill, I'm better. I'm better.
He's telling me that.
How many times have I said that?
How many colors did we use in the practice?
Keep it down. So if, let's say, for instance, Quinn was going to do this drill.
Let's use Jason.
Well, Quinn or Jason, they would know exactly which interns are going to pass the ball, which ones are going to screen. They would know the rotation in terms of the players on the drill, when the drill would be over. I mean, it got pretty detailed.
It's efficient, though.
It is. We were pretty efficient, and it was boom, 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 boom. But
you're working on it. Sounds like.
Yeah, we worked at it.
We met a little bit.
We put some time in the practice plan.
I think what Mike said, practice plans. I like to have all of my assistants know exactly what we're doing and when we're doing it and who's in charge of the drill, how many balls we need, what we're doing, so we're all involved. Because one thing about the players, they know if you're not prepared.
Yeah.
And if you're not prepared, they lose interest and they're moving on to the next thing. And the way that the game is played now, you have to be efficient because all the technology, and it's good. The workloads really tell you about the player's body, how they're feeling. So you have to be real efficient in your practice times. You know, when I played, it was 2-a-days for the month of October and 2.5 hours a day, and then you play at night scrimmage. Now, you try to keep your practices down, 45 minutes to an hour, depending on what time of the year it is. So you have to be real organized.
After you've done all this work and set all these really meticulous coaching practice plans in place, how much of your fate as a head coach is determined by luck?
A lot. It's because you can be organized, right? And you got to be prepared for the unexpected. And when you drop a play, as Coach talked about, you hope that they can run it or they don't forget, right? So you're hoping that you keep it short and sweet and that they get it and that, the ball bounces your way.
Time winding down. Antetokounmpo on the fade. It's good at the buzzer.
Yeah, I mean, Dave hit it again. I think the end of the game for us it's a time where you feel like you can hopefully have an impact. And you practice end of game stuff. I'm sure we all obsess about it, especially when it goes the other way. But ultimately, you can draw a great play and it doesn't quote unquote work. We could be awful. A player comes in, hits a big shot, and suddenly we're like great coaching. Right. I'd rather be, an awful coach, have your guys make shots, and that's what we all know that. Players make plays, they win games, and sometimes we just need to get out of their way.
And what is that feeling like? When it's
I know
out
that
of
feeling. Game 6, John hit the shot. It wasn't a great play. It was a great player making a great shot.
Well, when it's out of your hands, when you've done what you can do and you basically have to watch like the rest of us.
I think that's the great part about the game. You do everything you can to put your players in positions to be successful. Now it's on them. And they're so highly competitive and prideful, and they're going to give their best effort to have success. That's why I always try my philosophy, whether we win or lose, we're going to be consistent the next day. Because, you build your team around 15 guys that care, that 15 guys that like to play with one another and for one another. And I have never been around a player that did not want to make a game-winning shot. And sometimes the fans don't realize that. And I think every player wants to do well.
What do you liken that feeling to? When you've done what you can, you send them out there, and you just got to watch what happens.
Yeah, I mean, we all had our time. You know what I mean? It was great maybe at some point, but for us, when your whole organization, it's not just us as coaches, but when the assistant equipment guy behind the bench he's all in. He has done every single thing he can do for that day to prepare this team, just like we have in our job. And everybody's pulling the same direction and no hidden agendas and territorialness and things of that nature. And if it doesn't bounce your way, look, everybody did their thing to make it possible.
Circling back to culture, right?
Yes, it all comes back to culture.
There's nothing, though, greater than drawing up like a game-winning shot. It was just like Game 3 when we were playing up in Cleveland. The game was flowing a little bit. We were down. We were starting to come back. And I was the one, Steve Kerr's a great coach. He's my boss. But I was the one that told Steve to tell KD, when you dribble up the floor, pull up from 35. If he would have pulled up from 34, he definitely would have missed. He pulled up from 35. And when he drained that shot to put us up one, first words out of my mouth, Steve, I told you.
It's a good play, man.
It's great. Thank you. Can you pat me?
I had that play for 7 years.
You threw it up really well, by the way.
You ran it from 33 feet, though.
Exactly.
Was it as a
fired? 35.
That's good play calling. Can't argue with that. We're back with more Open Court from Las Vegas after this.
Being the youngest coach up here, I watch them all, from plays to how they stand, how they carry themselves. I wish I could get down like David. I can't squat down that low. even with a new hip, if I got down that low, I don't think I could get back up.
Doesn't it hurt your knee?
Let's get low.
He gets low.
He does.
We just got to take it one game at a time. Next question.
Odell, can you repeat everything you just said? My live stream won't load.
Technical foul.
Wrong sport.
Wrong network. You see, you need unlimited on Verizon. It's America's largest, most reliable 4G LTE network. They won't let you down in places like this, even in the strike zone.
It's the red zone.
Pretty sure it's the strike zone. Here, use mine. All right, see you on the court, champ. Heads up.
When it really, really matters, you need the best network and the best unlimited. Plans now start at $40 per line for 4 lines.
I can shut down your power grids. I can paralyze your infrastructure. I can access the personal data of everyone in America. I am the enemy with no face, and I can't be stopped.
For every would-be cyber attack, there's a team of U.S. Army cyber warriors who will not be defeated. Find out more at goarmy.com/team.
I've seen them all. Big, small, wide, slim, downright skinny. Long arms, long body, long neck, boulder-bellied and barrel-chested. But I've never seen two exactly the same. Not yet. Which is why in every Men's Warehouse, our expert stylists and master tailors create the perfect fit that's unique to only you. Because no matter what size your label says, it's time to like the way you look.
Here's to believing the end of the road is where the real fun begins, and that adventure is never out of reach. When you believe, you can go anywhere. Hurry in, because the Jeep Celebration event only happens once a year. Now, during the Jeep Celebration event, get $3,000 total cash allowance on the 2017 Jeep Grand Cherokee.
There's a reason this season can't come soon enough. Why NBA history is always being rewritten. And why this game is about more than just basketball. There's a reason this fall is going to be hotter than the summer. Why 2 seconds can feel like an eternity. And why any city can become the center of the universe.
Open Court continues with our head coaches. You guys obviously all know each other as coaches, and you're linked in a lot of different ways, either having worked together or played together before. During the season, how closely do you watch each other? I mean, you're focused on your own team primarily, but you have to pick up things, I would assume, from other coaches along the way. Are you able to watch and admire or critique other coaches' work?
Being I guess, the youngest coach up here, I watch them all, you know, from plays to how they stand, how they carry themselves. I wish I can get down like David. I can't squat down that low. even with a new hip, if I got down that low, I don't think I could get back up.
Does that hurt your knees? Does that hurt your knees when you squat like that?
No, I burn a ton of calories. You got them Fitbit things? The calories in your game. I try to stay out of people's way, you know, and I have a big butt, so I.
Get low. He gets low.
He does.
But it's, you know, watching these guys and how they handle different situations, and with the technology, but also with the mic in the huddle now, hearing what guys say coming down the stretch.
3 stops in a row, and we've scored every time. It's all about the D. Keep helping each other.
We got to make sure that we're right, and we're ready for that run.
Don't let your teammate down by not doing your job. Our physicality needs to go up. All right, let's go.
You know, understanding, you know, it's different being a coach than a player. But also giving confidence, you know, late game when the player comes off the floor and he can see in the coach's eyes that he's not scared. You know, that's what I rely on. But watching these guys, because they're all good. These are the best in the world, you know, and you can learn from them. And from Q, you know, I was just telling him, you know, watching Q, he's a big brain. He understands defense. We try to steal stuff.
Rudy Gobert understands defense.
that helps too. But it also starts with the coach and having a plan. And these guys up here on this stage, they have a big plan, and they put their team in a position to win.
I'm going to embarrass him. When I started in the D League, I'd come from college, and I can remember a timeout. You know, the rules are different, obviously, and where I drew up this wonderful little out of bounds play, only to find out the ball was being inbounded on the side. And like a lot of the stuff we're talking about, like someone hit a shot and it was a great play. But Dave was coaching in the D League right before I got there. And I had heard from a lot of guys, Mo McComb, who we have a mutual mentor, that told me to watch him. And I did. And particularly, I think at that point, that was my first year in professional coaching. So to Jason's point, I think there's things you can take from everybody. And that's one of the great things about the business is you just don't stop learning.
Well, I think I can say this because I've known Jason for a while now, and I played with him for 2 years. I think he's a little full of it right now. And the reason why, he is so...
I thought we were done.
No, we're not even. You went at me a little bit.
I thought we were even.
He's so competitive. He wants all 29 coaches to lose. He's so competitive. Every drill, every game, he wanted to win. I'm telling you, I've seen it firsthand. Appreciate all these nice things he said about us, but he is so competitive. He wants to win every game. And he doesn't feel sorry for me when he beat us by 25 in Milwaukee. Did you?
A little bit.
No. No. I wanted it by 30.
Exactly.
Because you guys are better than us. But I think, we're all competitive. We all want to win. The one thing that's funny that you bring up, I'm a little confused. Do we shake hands after the game, win or lose? Like, everybody just waves like, hey, thanks for the ass whooping.
Yeah, this is a good question. Honestly, I've never understood the protocol because some coaches will go out of their way to shake hands. Other guys wave, other guys just walk off. What determines your behavior at the end of the game?
Where the locker rooms are at. It's different places. Yes. Also, what I personally try to do, if we're playing somebody from the East and it's the second time and I'm not going to see you, then I might try to grab you. Or if it's the last time we're playing against somebody in the West and it's coming down the stretch, Mike, wish you guys the best of luck. Good luck in the playoffs, Q, whatever.
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera. I went over to see Stan though. One time, it's on video, it'll maybe run. I put my hand out, and he just walked right on by. So I happened to turn with the, whatever look, and the video got me. And I was offended or whatever. But stuff happens, and there is a lot of emotion at that time, and you don't know that somebody even saw you, But you try to grab guys.
Is there an advantage to having been a player at the NBA level as a head coach, Scotty?
I don't think so. I mean, I love that I was a player, but I don't think you have to necessarily be a player to have success as a coach. The players want to know, can you help them, regardless if you played? The last thing a player wants to talk about is what you've done. They want to know what you can do for them to get them better and to further along their career. So, I mean, that's just my feeling. I think that's why there's so many successful coaches that's never played in the NBA.
But do you feel like you have any particular insights that somebody who hadn't played at the NBA level wouldn't have?
I mean, you know how it feels back-to-back, how your body feels in 4 and 5 nights.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely know how that is, and you know how it feels to get beat up in practice every day and not play much at night. I've been there for many years. So you kind of have a warm spot for your entire team, 1 through 15, because you kind of been through all those places that they're going through. But I think that, like I said, the players want to get better every night, and they want to feel that you can help them.
Does it matter to you as a player if your head coach had played or not?
No, I think, like Scott just said, I have to agree with them.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You want to be successful. If the coach never played and can put you in a position to be successful, that's all that matters, and that you want to win. And if the coach delivers that on a nightly basis, you're going to give up. You're going to give 110%.
Yeah, I would say that, to Scott's point, and speaking to Jason as well, obviously, if players do want you to help them get better, I think some guys that have played, it gives them an experience where they're capable of doing that in some situations that only a player can feel. So I think it does relate. I think both these guys are humble, and they're saying what they're saying because some of us didn't play in the league. But I don't think it necessarily means that you can't do the job. But I do think there's things about it that matter.
Mike, do you ever feel like you need to go to an ex-player, somebody on the staff, to understand a current player's situation?
As a guy that didn't play in the league, when you build your staff, it's just my personal opinion, I feel like it's good to have somebody that played in the league, because there are instances where you may have a question about something that's happening during the course of the season, and to be able to go pick somebody's brain that has been there, done that, is valuable. But I agree with what everybody's saying. You don't necessarily need to have played in the league to be successful, to be a successful coach, but it's always great to have at least one guy, if not more than one guy on your staff that has played in the league.
The experiences that I have had are different, and I don't think there's any way I could be an NBA head coach if I had not coached in the minor leagues. I don't, you know what I mean? And you went straight, right?
Yeah.
I
started here and kind of.
Yeah, you worked and worked. But it's a lot of pressure and understanding and having to make quick decisions like that. So whatever background everybody has come from, those experiences they'll pay off. But in my situation, I would not have been able to do it had I not coached in the minor leagues.
It's all gotten you to the same place, right here on Open Court, right? Which we'll wrap up after the break.
You guys like that label of being a physical, tough, nasty team.
I think that you can create a tougher environment, but you really have to have some tough players.
Some guys are soft, but that makes them tougher if they can touch, right? Because after a while, that wears on the opponent.
Don't miss NBA preseason action. Rockets Thunder, Suns Trailblazers, Raptors Clippers. Next on NBA TV.
Get 2 Whopper sandwiches now for only $6. Only at Burger King.
Carbs to refuel. Electrolytes to help replenish what you lose in sweat. Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, and refuel.
It's iPhone season and everyone's celebrating. But this year, celebrate more responsibly.
How much data did I use last night?
What did I sign up for? Hey, Jimmy, where's your iPhone season spirit? Be smart and get the new iPhone 8 from Sprint. You'll get the best price for unlimited and network reliability within 1% of the other guys.
Works for me.
It's an iPhone season miracle. I'm going to Sprint.
Celebrate at Sprint, the only way to get the new iPhone 8 for $0 per month, plus upgrade to the latest iPhone anytime with iPhone Forever.
The modern man values craftsmanship, confidence, and hard work. At Joseph A. Bank, we create classic menswear tailored for the modern man, because looking good is a tradition that never goes out of style.
It's back. Sweet, malty, delicious. Sam Adams Oktoberfest.
I used to love going to sports bars for honey barbecue chicken, but now I'm doing the dad thing.
Yeah, he is.
So we go to DQ for the honey barbecue glazed chicken strip basket. I like this dad thing.
I like this blizzard thing.
The sauced and tossed honey barbecue glazed chicken strip basket, only at DQ.
Meet the new leader in off-road utility, the completely reinvented Ranger XP 1000. It's got the most power, the largest towing capacity, the highest ground clearance, and the best comfort and storage. This is the hardest working, smoothest riding Ranger ever built. The all-new Polaris Ranger XP 1000. More rugged, more refined, more Ranger.
I used to love going to sports bars for honey barbecue chicken, but now I'm doing the dad thing.
Yeah, he is.
So we go to DQ for the honey barbecue glazed chicken strip basket. I like this dad thing.
I like this blizzard thing.
The sauced and tossed honey barbecue glazed chicken strip basket, only at DQ.
Final segment of Open Court, head coach's edition from the Mandarin Oriental here in Las Vegas. Can a coach teach a team mental and physical toughness?
I think it's experience. You know, you can try to simulate it, but adversity really, I think experience is ultimately the best teacher. Until you literally go through something, there's another level of doing that. We can try to manufacture it. You can point to it when it does happen, so you accelerate the process, but I don't know if you can talk about it.
I guess what I'm getting at is, can you develop that, or do you have to have players who come in with that element of toughness?
I think you can help in that area. I know when I was in Cleveland the first time, we had real physical practices. Not only did we have real physical practices, but whenever we did drills, we didn't care about illegal defense. We told our guys, hey, you know what? Stand there, hit people whenever they come through, but stand there because they're not going to call it all.
Tag, we call that.
Tag.
Tag. I did that with
Mike. and just like when you do drill work, when we did drill work back then, I mean, we overemphasized tagging guys, and that helped when it came game time, and guys felt it, they saw it. It helped us win games, and the guys liked that label of being a physical, tough, nasty team. And a couple of guys that I had on our roster back then, Damon Jones, Danielle Marshall, they're not necessarily that way, but I felt that they bought in, and they were great physical defenders during that little stretch that we had.
How much tougher can a coach make it?
Yeah, I think what I've witnessed in Memphis was through hard work. And that doesn't mean you have to practice for 3 hours, but that means that if we're supposed to touch the line, then you're supposed to touch the line. If there's supposed to X number of trips without a miss or a bobble, then that's what you hold them accountable to, and then it becomes tougher. Now, we had a chef, and Lionel threw him out when he got the job, and you can make your own bagels and you can get your own yogurt from the fridge right here. And you know what? When we get to be bigger boys here and we grow up and we get X number of whatever, we get a seed, the chef will come back. The country club stuff is over. Some of those kinds of things. And Lionel, I learned a lot from, and I think you can aid that. But at the end of the day, did we get tougher because of that, or did we get tougher because we got Zach Randolph and Tony Allen? You know what I mean? So it's got to be both in my estimation.
What's the formula, Scotty?
As I started coaching, I knew, in Oklahoma City, we had a young team, and I knew going into it, I didn't want to look at my team as a young team. I wanted to have these guys look at themselves as professional basketball players, and they had to do what all the other guys had to do. So I think that you can create a tougher environment, but you really have to have some tough players.
Yeah, you do. I think you have to be a combination of tough players, but I think the tag drill. But, you know, in Milwaukee, we talk about touching, you know, touching the opponent at all times. You know, some guys are soft, you know, but that makes them tougher if they can touch, right? Because after a while, that wears on the opponent, and that's something that we try to do starting in training camp throughout the whole season, and then if we're lucky enough to play in the playoffs, that's what we, you know, for 48 minutes, we talk about touching the opponent at all times.
Guys, it's been good stuff. Enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here. We're open court.
Thank you.
Head coaches, and now you can go back to stealing each other's stuff.
That's all we do. Perfect. That's it.
That's what coaches do, right?
Yeah, that's what we do.
We'll see you next time on Open Court.
From the Bank of Oklahoma Center in downtown Tulsa, AT&T Sportsnet presents Houston Rockets basketball, as tonight it's the revamped Rockets and the OKC Thunder in the preseason opener for both. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our coverage of Rockets basketball right here on AT&T Sportsnet alongside Matt Bullard. I am Craig Ackerman. It is certainly great to be back with you after what was a busy and very productive offseason for the Rockets, including the transition of ownership from Leslie Alexander to Tillman Fertitta, and Matt, of course, the acquisition of a future Hall of Famer in Chris Paul to go alongside another future Hall of Famer in James Harden.
Yeah, I would say that the Rockets have the two best point guards in the league, and you look at their career numbers, you see a lot of assists and a lot of steals from those guys. But last year, James Harden playing that point guard spot was the only player in NBA history to have 2,000 points, 900 assists, and 600 rebounds. So Harden is coming off of his best season. And then Chris Paul is a guy who's probably the best point guard of our generation. But last year he shot 5 threes a game and shot 41% from that three-point line. So I think these two guys are going to be very good together.
Yeah, the Rockets now have the luxury of having at least one of the league's top premier playmakers on the floor at all times. Now, the wild NBA offseason certainly wasn't confined to the Houston area, as the Oklahoma City Thunder added both Paul George and Carmelo Anthony.
There's no doubt that their talent level has gone way up in Oklahoma City. You see the career numbers for Carmelo on the left, last season numbers for Paul George on the right. And these two guys are going to be able to play together as well. Now, Russell Westbrook is the guy who will not be playing tonight, but he is a part of that big three for OKC. And without Russell Westbrook tonight, we're not going to see exactly how they look, but I expect that OKC is going to be right up there at the top of the Western Conference this season.
The thing, though, for the Rockets tonight is we may see how they're going to look come the regular season with the condensed preseason schedule. Mike D'Antoni mentioned that he's going to play as close to as possible as you might consider for the first game of a preseason in terms of his regular players in regular rotation minutes. So I think this is going to have a little bit extra oomph, Matt, as far as a preseason game is concerned.
Yeah, absolutely. The players before the game, they're all talking about how excited they are for this season. Tonight is the first chance they're going to get to show everybody how excited they are.
All right, coming up, Kevin and Calvin will shine their preseason spotlight on P.J. Tucker as we get you ready for the Rockets and the Thunder right here on AT&T Sportsnet.
Introducing
the never-before-seen
next level of innovation.
Redesigned, reimagined,
reborn,
new, used, certified pre-owned.
Ford, Toyota,
Subaru, Volkswagen,
Honda, GMC, featuring
backup camera,
EcoBoost, all-wheel drive,
low miles,
park assist, sport mode,
for wherever you
dream of going.
For drivers everywhere,
for the ride of your life, for the driven.
Shop all the cars, all in one place. Auto Trader. If you can't find your next car here, you won't find it anywhere.
I just saved a bunch of money on my car insurance with Geico. Huh.
I should take a closer look at Geico.
Geico can help with way more than car insurance. Boats, homes, motorcycles, even umbrella coverage.
This guy's gonna wish he brought his umbrella. Fire at will!
How'd you know the guy's name is Will?
Yeah.
It's an expression. You know, fire at will? You never heard of that?
Oh, there goes Will.
Bye, Will.
That's not his name.
Take a closer look at Geico. Great savings and a whole lot more.
OfferUp is a new free app that shows what your neighbors are selling.
It's kind of like a game. There's always new surprises.
Come on, sofa.
Come on, dining room table.
Come on, flat screen TV.
OfferUp is free to use. Find anything you want nearby.
I had frequent heartburn, but my doctor recommended Prilosec OTC 7 years ago.
5 years ago, last week.
Just one pill each morning, 24 hours, and zero heartburn.
It's been the #1 doctor-recommended brand for 10 straight years, and it's still recommended today.
Use as directed.
We just got to take it one game at a time. Next question.
Odell, can you repeat everything you just said? My live stream won't load.
Technical foul.
Wrong sport.
Wrong network. You see, you need unlimited on Verizon. It's America's largest, most reliable 4G LTE network. They won't let you down in places like this, even in the strike zone.
It's the red zone.
Pretty sure it's the strike zone. Here, use mine. All right, see you on the court, champ. Heads up.
When it really, really matters, you need the best network and the best unlimited. Plans now start at $40 per line for 4 lines.
There's a reason this season can't come soon enough. Why NBA history is always being rewritten. And why this game is about more than just basketball. There's a reason this fall is going to be hotter than the summer. Why 2 seconds can feel like an eternity. And why any city can become the center of the universe.
Russell Westbrook had an injection in his knee earlier today. He is not going to play in this one tonight as the Rockets get set to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder. The lid lifter on preseason basketball here in 2017-2018 season. He's Calvin Murphy. I'm Kevin Eschenfelder. Let's talk about one of the new faces that you're going to see plenty of tonight. You're going to see him not for his scoring skills, but for the other end of the floor. You're talking about P.J. Tucker.
Well, when you start talking about defensively, what he's brought in for, you don't stop anybody one-on-one. He's going to be a great container. He's going to contain and make the individual he's guarding have to work.
James Harden knows firsthand. P.J. Tucker was a guy that, with that strong physical body, he can guard guys like that.
Absolutely. What he does is take them out of their comfort zone.
All right. So that is our AT&T Sportsnet Spotlight shining on P.J. Tucker. Rockets and Oklahoma City Thunder. Craig Ackerman, Matt Bullard have the call of the game. It's coming up next on AT&T Sportsnet.
It's iPhone season and everyone's celebrating. But this year, celebrate more responsibly.
How much data did I use last night?
What did I sign up for? Hey, Jimmy, where's your iPhone season spirit? Be smart and get the new iPhone 8 from Sprint. You'll get the best price for unlimited and network reliability within 1% of the other guys. Works for me.
It's an iPhone season miracle. I'm going to Sprint.
Celebrate at Sprint, the only way to get the new iPhone 8 for $0 per month, plus upgrade to the latest iPhone anytime with iPhone Forever.
My 5-alarm chili makes game days better. You may not know it, but FanDuel does too. For new players, there are beginner-only contests with real prizes to help you learn the ropes. And since you pick a new team every week, you're never a sideline with injuries or draft busts. Play for as little as $1 or compete for a share of $1 million. Or start a private contest to play against your friends. FanDuel, it's the 5-alarm chili your daily fantasy game's been waiting for.
Get free entry into the Sunday Million with over $1 million in cash prizes when you make your first deposit. Use promo code FIRE.
Nine out of 10 couples prefer a different mattress firmness. So we created the only bed that adjusts on both sides to your ideal comfort, your Sleep Number setting. You can even see how well you're sleeping and make adjustments. Does your bed do that? The most amazing part is they start at $699. That's $200 off our Queen C2 mattress during our fall sale. And soon. Visit sleepnumber.com for a store near you.
On AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Welcome back to Tulsa, everybody. Alongside Matt Bullard, I am Craig Ackerman as we get you ready for the Rockets and the Thunder in our first preview of what's to come in the regular season. Houston took 7 of 9 from OKC last year, including a 5-game series win in the opening round of the playoffs. Let's meet the starting lineups tonight for this for both ball clubs, and that starting lineup for the Rockets of Paul, Harden, Capella, Anderson, Ariza. That will be the group that will take the floor 2 weeks from tonight when the Rockets tip off the regular season in Oakland against the defending champion Warriors. And for the Thunder, that should be 4 of their 5 usual starters. No Russell Westbrook tonight. He had a plasma injection in his left knee. Free agent signee Raymond Felton will start in his place. The coaches for the ball game tonight: on the left, Mike D'Antoni. On the right, Billy Donovan. Mike, of course, the NBA's reigning coach of the year, as he led his team to a 14-game improvement for the prior seasons. The Rockets went 55-27. Billy Donovan about to begin his 3rd season as the head coach of the OKC Thunder. And Matt, it's time now for a Toyota keys to the game.
Well, the keys for tonight's game, you got to look at the different combinations that the Rockets are going to be putting out on the floor. They're going to be starting with their starters, and then they got to figure out who's going to come off the bench and when. And then you want to compete against an opponent. The Rockets have been playing against their own teammates in practice. It gets kind of old, so they're excited about playing against another team tonight. And then key number 3, as it is in any preseason game, no injuries.
Yeah, no question about that. Regular season, again, underway 2 weeks from tonight. And, Matt, a lot of people are excited about that guy right there, Chris Paul, for good reason. But I know you're also excited about the Rockets' prospects this season because of the additions of guys like P.J. Tucker and Luc Mbah a Moute, who will really help give this team a defensive identity that they're really looking for.
Absolutely. Everybody knows the Rockets' offense was spectacular last year. It was their defense that needed to improve. And P.J. Tucker and Luc Mbah a Moute are both defensive-minded guys, but they can both shoot the 3-ball as well. So you throw in Eric Gordon with those guys, and they got a bunch of guys that can shoot, but the Rockets' defense should be improved this year.
Last year, the Rockets, the 2nd-best offense in the league, the 10th-best offense in the history of the NBA, but they finished 17th in defense, and their goal this year is to become one of the 5 best defensive teams in basketball, as we have a redo, as a clock issue right off the bat here in Tulsa to begin the preseason. But it is certainly great to be back. Thanks to all of you for joining us here this season on AT&T Sportsnet. And Matt, this should be another fun one in the great city of Houston. As your officials for tonight, John Goble, Nick Buchert, and Tyler Ford.
Yeah, I think everybody in the city of Houston, everybody who's a Rockets fan, is excited about this season. And, you know, we got new uniforms. We got new uniforms for the refs. It's going to be a fun year.
And those games last year, it's Chris Paul, one of the best in the business, picks the pocket of his former teammate Raymond Felton right off the bat. And then he assists to James Harden. Wow, how about that start to the preseason?
James' first shot of the season was the easiest shot he's had since he's been a Rocket. That was a wide-open 3 that Chris Paul gave to him in transition.
Chris Paul, one of the best defenders in the league, in addition to his ability to create not only for himself but others. And on the ensuing rebound, a foul on Houston as Clint Capella held Steven Adams.
Now here, Chris Paul just picks Raymond Felton's pocket right there. Chris Paul averages over 2 steals a game in his career, and that leads to the wide-open 3 for James Harden. They're going to make the game easy for each other this season.
So the Thunder here with a reset 24. Paul George with it for the first time. Turns it over. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers. Harden with a Euro step. The kick in the corner, wide open. Ariza for 3. And it will be OKC basketball.
Well, already the Rockets' defense looks better, doesn't it? A steal by Chris Paul and a steal by James Harden, and they're off to the races.
2 more All-Stars now on their roster. Carmelo most recently from New York, mentioning earlier. Paul George coming over from the Indiana Pacers. Long 2 for Felton. And perhaps the happiest guy in the Rockets locker room is going to be Clint Capella, because that guy is going to be on the business end of so many lobs this season. And there's the first turnover for the Rockets. Block there for Harden on George, and then Capella hustles to save the loose ball. Rockets last year basically shattering every three-point record the league has ever known. Anderson, he misses in the corner.
But really nice pass there by Chris. He picked out the open man on that play, and Ryan had a wide open look.
And there's a foul up top. James Harden getting into the chest of Paul George. James last year, a remarkable season, career high 29 points per game, a career best 8 boards per game, and he led the NBA in assists with a career high 11.2 per pop. Finishing second to Russell Westbrook for MVP as Carmelo Anthony knocks down the triple, his first points as a member of the Thunder, and it's going to take a little while to get used to both he and George in the Thunder orange and blue.
And last year, the Thunder didn't have very much space in their offense. So with Paul George and Carmelo Anthony on the roster, they're going to have a lot more space to operate.
Yeah, they were the worst three-point shooting team in the league last season. As they get the ball back last year, just under 33% as a club from beyond the arc. They were a middle-of-the-pack team in terms of their efficiency on offense, top 10 in terms of their defense. Phil nearly dribbled himself out of the possession, and then Ariza steps into the passing lane, and it's 5-3 Houston.
Incredible pick-and-roll defense there by Chris Paul. He didn't get the steal, but I'm going to try to show you on the telestrator how Chris Paul's defense is going to really impact the Rockets.
Yeah, terrific as a defender on the pick-and-roll. Little size mismatch there. Stripped it away from Paul George. Chris Paul already everywhere here in the opening quarter of his first game in a Houston uniform. Harden the runner.
Craig, this is going to be so much fun this year. Take a look at the Rockets with 4 steals already, and the Rockets want to play fast, so if they can get steals, they're going to be unstoppable.
That basket will count, plus the contact on the arm, so an and one coming up here for Carmelo Anthony. Ryan Anderson picks up the personal.
It's going to be interesting to see how Carmelo changes his game now that he's away from the New York Knicks and here with Oklahoma City. And, of course, we're not going to get a great look at it without Russell Westbrook playing tonight. But I think Carmelo's game is going to be, now that he's probably the third option in the offense, the game's going to come a lot easier for him, and it's going to be good as he gets older.
Hits the free throw. In his career, Carmelo averaging 24 points, 7 rebounds on 41% shooting from 3 against Houston. Oh, how about that? No-look bounce pass to Clinton, and then recovering to block it out of bounds is one of the better defenders in the league in Paul George.
Great pass here from Chris Paul. This is where Clint's got to finish. That's great defense by Paul George, but Clint's got to be able to get that in the basket.
Houston 7, Carmelo 6. And a foul on Paul George as that pass was at the ankles of Clint Capella.
But you got to be ready. When Chris Paul has the ball, you have got to have your hands ready because that ball is going to get to you in a hurry.
Harden from Capella in the corner. Battle on the weak side for the rebound, poked out of bounds by Ryan Anderson. And Matt, that's another area where the Rockets want to get better at, is specifically on the defensive glass when it comes to rebounding. They were a solid offensive rebounding team last year, but overall they do want to become a better rebounding team this season.
Yeah, that's one of Ryan Anderson's stated goals for this season. Is he wants to be a better rebounder than what he was last year.
Carmelo, again, he has scored all 9 of OKC's points as they take a 2-point early lead here in Tulsa.
I think Carmelo may have just moved from the third option to the first.
The drive-in kick, left-hand corner 3 this time for James. Felt in all kinds of trouble getting it across midcourt. Finally does. Again, Anthony jab stepping on Anderson. This time takes him off the dribble. Draws another foul.
That's a tough matchup there for Ryan Anderson. Carmelo's really more of a 3 than a 4, and Ryan is certainly a 4. So Ryan doing his best to try to move his feet there, but Carmelo Anthony is one of the greatest scorers of our generation. Certainly in Olympic basketball, he's the all-time leading scorer.
33 years of age, 25 points per game for his career. Spent the last 6+ seasons with the Knicks as he misses the free throw. And we're going to have our first substitution of the ball game. For the Rockets is the NBA's 6th man of the year. Eric Gordon checks in for Chris Paul. Ironically, two guys who were once traded for one another.
Yep. But this is our first look at what the rotation is going to look like. Chris Paul is going to come out early. Eric Gordon's coming in early. And then James will probably come out of the game when Chris Paul is ready to come back in.
Yeah, Mike D'Antoni has mentioned probably 14 minutes together as Ariza knocks down the three for James Harden and Chris Paul in terms of the first 43 minutes or so of the game. And then the last 5 minutes, of course, they'll be on the floor together. And that will be, you know, another area where ultimately as the season goes along, everybody will get more comfortable with one another as Ariza knocks it out of bounds. But I know there was a lot of external concern, Matt, after Chris Paul was acquired from the Clippers on how these two high-usage guys would coexist, but no concern for Mike D'Antoni and the Rockets. Our first time out of the preseason, and we have a tie ball game at 10.
Whether it's new business, new boss, or new romance, these are the designer moments. Now at Men's Warehouse, designer brand suits and sport coats are 60% off, plus buy one, get one free on select items. You're gonna like the way you look in a designer suit.
Looking for a microbrew. No, nano brew. Fruity, not too fruity. Stout.
If you can get picky with your beer, why not get picky with your TV?
Get a la carte TV only from Sling. Start at $20, then pick your personal channel lineup.
Heineken is served in 192 countries. It's world famous. Like me. It happens all the time.
He's ready. Antonio Banderas. It's Antonio Banderas from the movies.
Enjoyed in 192 countries. There's more behind the star.
Arby's roast beef requires no introduction. But chicken at Arby's? That requires some introducing. Chicken. Juicy buttermilk chicken, hand-dipped in buffalo sauce. A new chicken pepperoni palm with fresh mozzarella. So many kinds of chicken! Arby's, we have the meats.
The real TNT difference is it's not just the game anymore. We want to hear their take.
I think they have more talent now than they did last year.
Being provocative, pushing buttons.
My argument with LeBron was strictly basketball related.
To be able to rap about what is actually happening on and off the court.
We're talking Ferguson, Colin Kaepernick, election night 2016.
There's edge to it.
It's a deflection of what the problem really is.
Perspectives you just don't really get anywhere else.
Some people are going to agree with me, and some people are going to kiss my...
That's why we tune into the show.
You may knock us down, but you will not break us. This community will rise again, and we will be here to uplift it. We are your disaster response team. We are Team Rubicon.
Gordon on the drive, slaps it home. Over Grant, wild play by Eric Gordon. Back here in Tulsa, Rockets with 10, Carmelo with 10 for the Thunder as George misses. Mbah a Moute has checked in for the Rockets. He's been terrific so far in training camp. Skip pass across to Eric Gordon. That one in and out, no good. George with the Euro step on Ariza for two.
Yeah, that was a real nice move from Paul George. And OKC is going to be tremendous in the transition game as well this year. Get Russell Westbrook back, and they're going to be a high-paced team.
Yeah, the Rockets last year 3rd in the league in pace. The Thunder were 8th in the league in pace of play. Klink gets fouled, barreling his way into the paint. Not a shooting foul as he was passing off into the corner, but Carmelo Anthony picks up the personal.
And you notice that pass to the corner, Mbah a Moute was not in the right spot. He had already drifted up to the top, so that's a little mistake there. That Luke's got to stay in that corner.
Well, nearly a turnover there, and I think Clint also got away with what probably should have been a foul as he sort of hip checked and/or prevented Adams from getting to that loose ball. Houston will have it with 10 seconds on the 24.
Adams is one of the most physical players in the league. Now, Clint's added a whole bunch of weight this year, so he's going to be a little bit better, but Adams is just a giant.
George harassing Harden, threads the needle down low. It's a mad scramble, and it's Robertson who comes away with it. Robertson, terrific defender in his own right. Carmelo with Capella on him. So it's already the 5th shot attempt for Carmelo here to start the ball game. The sports runner gets blocked. In the corner, Belt, he misses the 3. Rockets come the other way, scoreless on their last 5 possessions.
Great call. Paul George stood in front of Clint Capella and fell down. Left side of your screen, you'll see Clint running down the floor. Paul George is trying to draw a foul. They call a block, which I think is the right thing, because this is away from the ball. It has nothing to do with the play. Don't reward the defender for falling down right there. Good call.
5:23 to go in the opening quarter. P.J. Tucker is in for the first time, and in this lineup, he will play the 5. The center spot, Nene, is out due to rest here tonight in the preseason opener. He's back from an injury last year that sidelined him in that San Antonio series, and he's fine, just out tonight due to rest. And so P.J. Tucker, who frankly can defend all 5 positions on the floor, will play the 5 in this lineup for Houston.
And I like to see this lineup early, because this is the lineup that the Rockets are looking forward to having to match up with Golden State.
And I'll admit, P.J. Tucker's a guy who I've been quietly campaigning to have on the Rockets for years.
Just to keep him from guarding James Harden.
Absolutely. Right? I think he's going to be a great fit here. And he knocks down the 3.
He's a great fit because he's a great defender and he's tough, but he's also improved his three-point shooting over his career. Going to be a perfect fit for the Rockets.
He's mainly been a guy who's camped in the corner, so that was a rare top-of-the-key 3 make there for Tucker. But he is a guy who will get in your face and will add a degree of toughness that this team really needs. Wide open again, Felt. This time swishes one home.
Yeah, the Rockets a little bit mixed up on that weak side. James and Eric Gordon trying to figure out who had whom. And in the NBA, players do not miss wide open shots very often.
Boy, the first game right out of the bat, your English is on point. Who had whom, right? Who had whom? I think you said that correctly. Good for you. Turnover for Houston. Not so good for them. Belt penetrated.
That's one thing with this lineup, if you don't have a large center like rim protector.
Losing his balance a little bit on that drive, Eric Gordon, as the layup rolled off. Block of Trevor Ariza.
This is a problem when OKC left their big center on the floor. This is probably not the right matchup, because as you see Adams rolling in there, Trevor Ariza trying to come over there and do something about it, but Trevor was inside the restricted area and they call him for a block.
And so Adams will go to the free throw line here with Enes Kanter now in New York as part of that Carmelo deal. Be interesting to see what Billy Donovan, the Thunder, do in terms of their backup minutes at the 5 spot. If you recall last year in that playoff series between Houston and Oklahoma City, when Kanter was on the floor, he was completely abused by James Harden, so much so that they basically just sat him and never played him. Or if they did play him, they made sure he did not match up at the same time that James Harden was on the floor.
Right, you see Carmelo getting ready to check in for Adams. So right now OKC is trying to match up with the Rockets' small lineup.
This is OKC's biggest lead here at 6. Tucker penetrating. Adams with the block. Tucker deflected it, gets it back. Gets tied up. And we'll have a jump ball.
A good effort by the 2 new Rockets right there. Getting that ball back. Look at that great steal by PJ. And good pass there by Luke, but just a lot of length there for OKC. It'll be a jump ball. A lot of times when you get the ball in that position, you got a few guys around you, you know you're not going to be able to get up on the backboard. You look for a 3-point shooter in the corner.
So it'll be George for the Thunder opposite P.J. Tucker for the Rockets. Probably advantage Paul George in this situation. But he tips it and deflects it to Ariza, and the Rockets will get another crack at it here. Approaching 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Ariza by Hamilton and had it stripped. Daniel Hamilton working on a two-way contract for the Thunder, and that's a new thing this year as well, Matt, in the league. Your thoughts on that? You like it?
I like the two-way contract. That means guys that will be playing in the D-League are going to be making D-League money, or G-League, sorry, but when they come up to the NBA, they'll be making NBA money. Two guys on every roster will be able to do that.
And he spent, what, a max of 45 days on an NBA roster. Tucker moved the foot, pushed back, ended up shuffling his feet, turning it over.
I think the overall impact of that G-League two-way contract will be better player development for the NBA guys, and that's exactly what this league needs, is that G-League to develop the guys.
The NBA roster is basically expanding from 15 to 17 to accommodate the new two-way player deals, as teams can have a max of 2 guys on their roster signed to those contracts. A miss for Carmelo.
Good one-on-one defense there by Luke Bamute.
Thunder on a 9-3 run here as the Rockets have gone a little bit cold offensively. Good job by OKC defensively. Rockets are playing 5 out. 9 on the shot clock. Contested 3 for James as he knocked it down over the top of Carmelo, and the foul to boot. So a 4-point opportunity coming up for James Harden when we return.
You guys are ready! You guys are ready!
Ticket, please.
Of course, I got it right here.
There's nothing there.
It's loading. It takes a little bit. Just give me like a minute, guys.
Here's what to get started. Mine works.
Bob realized he needed unlimited LTE data, so he switched to Metro PCS to get the best unlimited deal in wireless. 2 lines of unlimited LTE data for only $80 period. Plus 2 free 32-gig phones. Enjoy the best unlimited deal in wireless on a reliable LTE network. Metro PCS. Wireless figured out.
Jimmy's gotten used to his whole room smelling like sweaty odors. Yep, he's gone nose blind. He thinks it smells fine, but his mom smells this. Luckily for all your hard-to-wash fabrics, there's Febreze Fabric Refresher. Febreze doesn't just mask, it eliminates odors you've gone nose blind to. And try Febreze Unstoppables for fabric. With up to twice the fresh scent power, you'll want to try it again, and maybe just one more time. Indulge in irresistible freshness. Febreze Unstoppables. Breathe happy.
At Sam Adams, we take training seriously. Because there can be only one Sam Adams Oktoberfest Stein Hoisting Champion. Hold out a Stein filled with sweet, malty, and delicious Oktoberfest the longest and win. But then again, with a Stein filled with Oktoberfest in hand, aren't we all winners? It's everything you love about fall in one sip. Sam Adams Oktoberfest, the Stein-worthiest beer of fall.
Nationwide is on your side. So many things you're doing with your life. Nationwide is on your side.
OfferUp is a new free app that shows you what people are selling nearby.
It's kind of like a game. Every day there are new surprises.
Come on, flat screen TV.
Oh, come on, dining room table.
Come on, sofa.
Yeah.
OfferUp is free to use. Find anything you want nearby.
Deep shot. You want more of that? We got hundreds and hundreds of live games.
A gorgeous spin.
Get the full season.
All season long.
Monthly pricing. No sweat. Oh, you just want to watch your team.
Yes, sir.
Anytime, anywhere. It's that easy. Fire it up on all your connected devices. To order NBA League Pass, go to NBA.com/League Pass or purchase with the NBA app.
2.5 to play in the first quarter in the preseason opener for both of these teams. Rockets down by 3 as James Harden toes the free throw line for the first time. He has led the NBA in free throws made in each of the last 3 seasons and attempted in 4 of the last 5 years. So a guy who obviously lives at the line, as do most of the elite scorers in basketball. Jeremy Grant is in. Thunder have gone a little bit deeper to their bench. Robertson, not much of a three-point threat. Neither is Grant. Ball back in. And deflected the ball, but also apparently got a piece of the arm as well, so he picks up the foul. And Free throws here for the Thunder. Opening night presented by Toyota is Saturday, October the 21st, as the Rockets take on the Dallas Mavericks. Doors open at 5:30. Go to Rockets.com to secure your opening night tickets today. As Grant knocks down the free throw. Last year, the Thunder shot it at about 74.5%, which was good for 26th best in the league, as they attempted the 4th most free throws per game as a team, due in large part to that of Russell Westbrook and all the fouls, free throws he ultimately took.
All right, Chris Paul back in the game, but Eric Gordon bringing the ball up.
Talks of looking for some help. The long arms of Robertson got a piece of the ball, then when he couldn't secure it, tried to get it back, ended up bumping and knocking down Paul. So Robertson with the foul, and that will result in free throws here for the Rockets with $1:53 to go in the first.
Looked like the Rockets were trying to get Chris Paul the ball on the weak side, kind of a secondary action to give him some room to operate with the defense a little bit broken down. That's one of the things that I think the Rockets are going to be very good at, is being able to use secondary options here this season.
For an exclusive game day experience, reserve a Toyota Center suite. This turnkey hospitality experience includes tickets, catering, and VIP parking for private groups ranging from 15 to 100 guests. This is a first-class way to grow your business, strengthen existing relationships, and simply enjoy a night out at Toyota Center. Call 713-758-7296 to book yours today. Paul, the line, a career 87%er, knocks them both down. Turnaround is missed by the Thunder. Hamilton gets the rebound back, goes to Robertson for the dunk.
Rockets have got to secure that defensive rebound. You've already talked about it a little bit, Craig, but that's one area where the Rockets have got to be solid, is getting those defensive rebounds so they can get out on the break.
And the ball was tipped for Paul, and everybody claiming the ball was tipped, including Matt Bullard.
Yeah, that was good defense by Carmelo. He blocked that three-point attempt, but OKC got the ball back.
Well, he missed that by a good 2 or 3 feet. Had to have been deflected. And the Rockets would get the ball back.
Traveling on Carmelo. See, he doesn't agree with the call, but Mike D'Antoni's still talking about the previous call where the ball was tipped and referees missed that one.
Ball fouled by Grant. And back to the free throw line he will go. Shot 89% last year at the line, did Chris Paul. Of course, in the final year of his current contract, after spending the previous 6 seasons with the Los Angeles Clippers, the Rockets his 3rd NBA team, beginning with New Orleans for the 32-year-old. Look at his numbers last year with the Clippers.
And we talked in the pregame about how well Chris shot the three-point ball last year, 41% on 5 attempts. But he's also one of the best mid-range shooters over the last decade in the NBA.
Yeah, the last 3 years, only Kevin Durant shoots it better in the mid-range than Chris Paul, who's at 48.5% from the mid-range, which, of course, is something the Rockets historically, at least in recent years, that's going to be over and back, and the Rockets are going to get it back. Something the Rockets last year is they attempted the more percentage of threes than any team in NBA history, but what Chris Paul will do in terms of his prowess at the mid-range will allow the Rockets to at least diversify their offense a little bit, which I think was probably something that they really needed in that series against the Spurs as Gordon gets the and one.
Yeah, you're right on the money with that. The way the Spurs played the Rockets in the playoffs was, as you see the foul there by Ferguson. But the Spurs were able to take away the Rockets' primary option in the playoffs. And so now when you've got James and Chris Paul on the floor at the same time, the primary option can be taken away, but the secondary action is really where the Rockets are going to get their biggest, especially against good defensive teams like the Spurs. The Rockets are going to have a lot of success.
Yeah, after game one, Greg Popovich put Pau Gasol in the center spot, sagged him in the paint to protect the rim. They really defend three-point shooters well, and the Rockets' offense, by their standards, certainly struggled from that point in that series, as we have a foul and free throws coming up here for the Thunder.
See, Ryan's got to get over there and take that charge. He got over there, but he didn't really commit his body. And that's kind of a veteran preseason move right there. 3 fouls on Ryan?
Yep.
See, as a veteran, you know in the preseason, you're not going to go over there and totally give up your body because you don't want to get hurt in the preseason.
Free throw is good there for Daniel Hamilton, the NBA rookie out of UConn. Spent last season playing with Oklahoma City's G League team, the Blue. Originally drafted by the Nuggets in the second round a couple of years ago. Paul whips it out to Ryan Anderson.
Wow. That is beautiful basketball right there. Ryan Anderson with a wide open look. Just because Chris Paul can break the defense down by himself.
Rockets regain the 2-point lead. Melo going to ISO here on Tucker. Late double for Anderson. Robertson fumbled the pass. And so the shot clock is off, and the Rockets with a chance to score the final points here in the opening quarter. Game clock down to 3. Paul will pull up for 3. And that'll do it. We've played 12 here in Tulsa, preseason opener, and the Rockets up by 2 against the Thunder.
What we're going to have you do is each have a bite of 2 different burgers. One is flame grilled, the other one is fried on the flat top.
Definitely flame grilled.
So much better.
What you're saying is that we should destroy this flat top.
Flat top is my enemy.
Get 2 flame grilled Whopper sandwiches for just $6, only at Burger King.
Whether it's new business, new boss, or new romance, these are the designer moments. Now at Men's Warehouse, designer brand suits and sport coats are 60% off, plus buy one, get one free on select items. You're gonna like the way you look in a designer suit.
I can always tell what kind of night I am going to have by the way my eyebrows go.
I think for me it's not even about having confidence, it's about living the full fantasy.
I also didn't want to lose a boy persona. I didn't want to lose like who I am. I challenge.
You meet me on the dance floor with a microphone and we'll see who can talk to a crowd. Because I guarantee you it's not going to be you.
Shade, Queens of NYC, premieres Thursday, October 5th at 10:30 on Fusion, channel 342.
Senor Khaled.
Who's that?
The Amigos from the airport.
Who?
The Amigos. You asked me to pick them up at the airport.
Yo, bro, the Migos, ATL, Bad and Bougie, Quavo, Offset, Takeoff. Come on, man. You tripping. You played yourself, man.
Don't miss the 2017 BET Hip Hop Awards, hosted by DJ Khaled. Tuesday, October 10th at 8, 7 Central.
Viva Hip Hop. Let's go.
Deep shot. You want more of that? We got hundreds and hundreds of live games.
A gorgeous spin.
Get the full season.
All season long.
Monthly pricing. No sweat. Oh, you just want to watch your team.
Yes, sir.
Anytime, anywhere. It's that easy. Fire it up on all your connected devices. To order NBA League Pass, go to NBA.com/League Pass or purchase with the NBA app.
After 1, the Rockets lead the Thunder by 2, 27-25. And Matt, some changes league-wide to sort of help the flow of NBA games with some new timeout rules.
Yeah, I like this a lot. The 4 fewer timeouts in the game overall. There's no more 20-second timeouts. Every timeout is going to be considered a team timeout. They've eliminated a break in the second and fourth quarters. And then at the end of the game, there's going to be far fewer timeouts available to the coaches, which is going to make that flow a lot better.
Second quarter underway. Paul coming around a couple of screens.
Got a mismatch.
He's taken 2 shots, both of them threes. Shot clock winding down. Tucker over Anthony in the corner.
That was good defense by OKC. They've got good length on their team.
They've always had good length on their team. Going back when Kevin Durant was on their roster. Serge Ibaka. Robertson cutting, stripped by Paul. Got it back. Carmelo up top. A little bit strong there, but the offensive rebound for the Thunder. Robertson for 3.
Where was that last year in the playoffs?
Yeah, he shot it really well in the playoffs. However, in the regular season, he was probably the worst three-point shooter in the entire league at under 25%. Paul, great court vision again. Gordon can't get off the shot.
Yeah, give OKC credit. They're rotating.
An offensive foul going to be called on Luke Bamute.
OKC, their rotations are quick. They're covering up those open shooters, and then the foul there on Bamute setting a moving screen, trying to give P.J. Tucker an open look. Take a look at this screen right there. And that was a moving screen.
Two-point game. Rockets, though, have outscored the Thunder by 13 already in terms of points off of turnovers with all those steals. George, tough shot. Good defense by Ba Mute. Gordon trailing the play, and he knocks down the three. That's number 6 for Houston.
The Rockets figured out that last year they were at their best offensively when they scored the ball in the first 6 seconds of the shot clock.
Hamilton trying to answer, can't. Rockets again looking to push. Gordon, could it be 2 straight? It will. And that was tough. That was over the top of Hamilton.
That was 18 seconds on the shot clock right there as well. So the first 6 seconds is a very big key for the Rockets offense. They want to really push it and try to score early.
Rockets now with their biggest lead of the game at 8 after trailing by 6. Another strip, another steal. Tucker with Adams on his hip pocket, keeps him there and lays it up and in. As the Thunder are forced to call a timeout as the Rockets score yet again after forcing a turnover. Another look at it here. Tucker with the strip and then decides to finish it himself. It's a 10-point Houston lead.
We just got to take it one game at a time. Next question.
Odell, can you repeat everything you just said? My live stream won't load.
Technical foul.
Wrong sport.
Wrong network. You see, you need unlimited on Verizon. It's America's largest, most reliable 4G LTE network. They won't let you down in places like this, even in the strike zone.
It's the red zone.
Pretty sure it's the strike zone. Here, use mine. All right, see you on the court, champ. Heads up.
When it really, really matters, you need the best network and the best unlimited. Plans now start at $40 per line for 4 lines.
Where are we? About to see Progressive's new Home Quote Explorer, where you can compare multiple quote options online and choose what's right for you.
Whoa.
Flo and Jamie here to see HQX. Flo and Jamie, request entry. Slovakia. Triceratops. Tapioca. Racquetball. Staccato.
Me llamo Jaime.
Pumpernickel. Pudding.
Hey, guys.
Home Quote Explorer. It's home insurance made easy.
That's what it is. Hey, guys.
Listen, we've all got to make choices. If you're hungry and you got $5, you could make a random meal playing Dollar Menu Bingo.
And fish sandwich.
Or you can get a real meal with the Charbroiled Double Cheeseburger, spicy chicken sandwich, drink, fries, and look at this fresh baked cookie. Oh, word! The $5 All-Star Meals. There's 4 of them, and there's no better way to spend $5. Only at Carl's Jr. and Hardee's.
Hello, hello. Inside the NBA is coming your way.
The TNT difference is nothing's off limits.
Come on, Charles, watch my feet, baby.
Oh, man. The jokes.
Do you like the look that Charles Ford?
The culture.
Let's start the man bun cut craze.
When Shaq failed, funniest thing ever. Ernie, you the man.
I host a little show called Inside the NBA.
Everybody knows TNT is primetime. They have fun, and then at the end of the day, it all comes back to basketball.
You want more of that? We got you. Hundreds and hundreds of live games.
A gorgeous spin.
Get the full season.
All season long.
Monthly pricing. No sweat. Oh, you just want to watch your team. Yes, sir. Anytime, anywhere. It's that easy. Fire it up on all your connected devices. To order NBA League Pass, go to NBA.com/League Pass or purchase with the NBA app.
Go places.
PJ Tucker doing a little bit of everything for the Rockets in his debut here in the first half in Tulsa. Just picked up the steal and score, has 5 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist to boot. As the Rockets bench a plus 12 in terms of the scoring discrepancy and bench points to start this ballgame. Former Rocket Isaiah Cannon is in, just recently signing with them, and he knocks down the 3.
The Cannonball. Used to play for the Rockets.
Yeah, he did not have a good go of things last year with the Chicago Bulls. Gordon again, coming off the pick. Drills another 3.
He's hot. When you got a player that's hot, you got to get him the ball. Feed him.
You remember last year before that stretch in January where the schedule was just a beast for the Rockets, Eric Gordon, in the first couple of months of the regular season, was basically playing like an all-star. Shooting the ball just as he has done here in this first half. Adams on Anderson, the duck in, and then the shot make there with the left. Eric Gordon, the game's leading scorer, now with a dozen. Carmelo has 10. Mbah a Moute wide open.
What a pass. What a pass. Behind the back on the run. Perfect for Luc Mbah a Moute to step into a three.
11-point Houston lead. That's already assist number 5.
And Rockets have taken 18 threes so far.
Contested Jay there for Carmelo. He's got 12. Ball double behind the back again. Anderson will squeeze one off.
Man, give me a uniform, Craig. There are some open threes out there.
Wow, Chris Paul hasn't hit a shot, but impacting the game on the defensive end, and his passing has just been superb. And that was off the fingertips of Paul George.
Let's take a look at this on the fast break behind the back, right to Luke, right in stride, drained it, and now another one behind the back to Ryan Anderson, who can drill it from deep. Man, so much fun to play with great point guards that look to pass first. You know, I think one thing about Chris, another behind the back pass.
Another one for Anderson. This one a deep one. Missed it short. Offensive rebound for Clint as he's back in and gets bear hugged and fouled by Adams from behind.
That's a scouting report. When Clint gets the ball around the basket, teams are going to foul him, force him to go to the free throw line. Of course, the Rockets not in the penalty here, so they'll take it out on the side. But
just the first foul, though, on the Thunder here in the quarter. 7:31 to play in it. James Harden has returned. Chris Paul stays on the floor. Little handoff there. Anderson hesitates, steps left, clears a couple of defenders, misses an offensive rebound for James. Back to Paul for a 30-foot three.
Oh, man. Anybody who has wondered if Chris Paul and James Harden can play together, well, here's your answer. They've answered it already.
There's his first make in a Houston uniform. The Rockets now 6 made threes here in the second quarter. As they could just overwhelm you. Little step back to the free throw line for George. That's short, but a foul is going to be called on Clint Capella. Battling for that rebound as he apparently got Adams. 15-point Houston lead here midway through the second. Bad pass, deflected in the backcourt by Clint. Adams able to recover. And then shot clock not in sync with the play, so a whistle, stoppage, and they'll get things squared up here in a moment.
Great defensive coaching there by Jeff Bzdelik. He called out what the inbounds play was, and Clint heard him, and Clint was able to get up there and get his hand on that pass, knock it into the backcourt. He didn't get the steal, but there's Jeff right there. He does a great job on the defense.
Whole gang there back together for another year. Jeff Bzdelik, Roy Rogers, Brett Gummy, John Lucas in the back as well. No basket. Non-shooting foul.
You can see, though, everybody in the suit right there. They do a great job. Got Coach Cho right there on the video. Coach Cho's been around the Rockets since I was a player. Just a great staff.
I think Clint picked up another one. George nearly lost another one in a late whistle and a foul.
Let's see if he gets him on the arm. Hard to tell from that angle. Paul George reacted like he felt like he got fouled.
A little playground attempt at the steal from behind. Felton with the awkward floater, but it counts nevertheless.
Those are the kind of shots right there that Clint has to erase. He's got to be a rim protector and knock those shots back out to the outside.
Yeah, another area where the Rockets need to improve defending the paint. Capella misses At the rim, the Rockets gave up more paint points than any team in the league last year as their opponents shot a league-high 67% in the restricted area as the Rockets' ball pressure, headlined by Chris Paul, forces the Thunder into yet another turnover. Thunder weren't exactly a good paint defensive team either, as they were 29th in the league in paint points allowed. Harden with the turnover. George, another deflection, though, by Chris Paul. He's everywhere.
You know how when you watch players play on other teams and how they defend your guys, and Chris Paul always getting his hand on basketballs. Ooh, nice shot by Paul George. And one opportunity.
And James is arguing that should be one of the points of education that the NBA has gone into this season with their officials in terms of whether or not they're going to call those fouls or not. Well, shooting fouls or common fouls. James arguing that should have been just a common foul, but it was a shooting foul nevertheless. This week on a brand new edition of Rockets All Access, the launch of a new season brings championship aspirations. We'll sit down with the dynamic duo, CP3 and the Beard, who are excited to share the same backcourt. All that more on Rockets All Access, only on AT&T Sports Net. Hart fouled. Will they give him an and one? No. They will not.
You mentioned a little bit about the shooting foul or on the floor foul, and also continuation is something they're trying to tighten up this year as well. I think that should be continuation, but the officials say no. And you see the entire Rockets bench react, thinking that should have been continuation, but we'll see how things are going to change with the officiating this year.
Basically comes down to the sequence of play, as James Harden has a couple words for Raymond Felton, saying, "You pushed me."
It was actually Paul George pushing James into Raymond Felton, so the foul was on Paul George.
Capella off the dribble, and one.
And Clint, his maturation as a player has been spectacular. Now he's taking the ball at the elbow, putting it on the floor and getting to the backboard, drawing the foul. He has really improved in his first few years in the NBA. You see what he did last season in 65 games. I expect even better production from him this year.
Speaking of improvement, this guy has improved as much as any player in the league at the foul line. Still not great, but he shot 53% last year at the free throw line. And towards the end of the season, he was close to 70% at the free throw line. Just a remarkable improvement for Clint in that area. As John Lucas worked with him a lot last season, and it showed. Got to the point last year, Matt, towards the end of the season, when Clint was at the free throw line, nobody worried anymore. Tripping foul on Oklahoma City, as Ryan Anderson ended up falling on his hip and was slow to get up.
He had all of his weight. Watch how he gets tripped, and all of his weight right on his hip when he hits the floor.
And they bump knees, too.
Ouch. A lot of guys wear pads nowadays, and I'm not sure if Ryan is one of those guys, but I'm sure he'll be wearing pads next year.
Got a couple of guys out there for the Rockets who got married this offseason, Ryan Anderson and Trevor Ariza, so congratulations to them.
A couple newlyweds, and Ryan looking pretty trim, too. He lost about 10 pounds, so he's had a great summer.
Don't miss the Rockets annual Fan Fest for food on Saturday, October the 7th at Toyota Center, starting at 10:30. This free event features music, games, rides, autographs, and a team practice for free entrance. Bring non-perishable food for families in the community impacted by the storm Harvey. Visit Rockets.com to purchase autograph passes and for additional details. Of course, very rough time for everybody in the Houston area a month ago with hurricane/tropical storm Harvey, as the recovery in our great city continues. Boy, there are bodies all over the place. It's going to go against Oklahoma City.
And they call the foul on Adams for, a clip, personal foul. Moving screen.
Takedown. That was like a DDT right there.
Whatever that was, you can't do that in basketball.
What's that? What's the meme that's out there? Randy Orton. What's that called? Where he takes people down? Somebody will probably let me know on Twitter, but that was a wrestling takedown there by Adams.
Well, I go all the way back to when I grew up in Iowa, real wrestling. That would have been a 2-point takedown there with Dan Gable and the guys.
Okay, that name does not ring a bell. Foul by Paul George on the late closeout.
Let me help you with the Google there. Dan Gable is an Olympic wrestler, one of the greatest wrestling coaches of all time at the University of Iowa.
Okay. You say so.
You weren't a big college wrestling fan growing up?
No, not a fan of the Big 8 wrestling back in your day. Did you go to wrestling matches up there?
No, but everybody knows who Dan Gable is back home.
Oh, the RKO was the finishing move with Randy Orton. I think that's what Adams ended up doing to Trevor Ariza, or at least a version of some sort. By the way, thanks to all the RKO tweets back to me. Appreciate that.
Twitter help for you?
Yep. George coming off the pick, knocks down the J. That's his third make. He's 3 for 8. He's got 7. Carmelo's got 12. The Rockets lead by 11. Flurry of threes here in this quarter for Houston. Chris Paul has just been spectacular. Working his way to the rim, flipped it up, did not get the shot to drop, but he will go to the free throw line.
He's so strong with the ball. So he's got a bigger guy on him, and he's still able to get around him, use his strength to get to the basket, draw the foul. Sure, it's good to see him in a Rockets uniform. We talk about how we watch these players playing against the Rockets, and man, I wish that guy was on our team. Good job by Daryl Morey to go out there and get Chris Paul this summer.
Adams will check out for the Thunder. One more free throw coming up here for CP3. This is the second. He's now 5 of 6 at the stripe. Tucker picks up Anthony, got Ariza on George. Switch up top. Felton steps into a long 2 and nails it.
Playing on a high school / college court here in Tulsa, so you can see the difference in the three-point line lengths of high school, college, and NBA.
Second time the Rockets have played the Thunder here in Tulsa in a preseason game, previously in 2008. Cannon gets knocked down and fouled by Chris Paul.
Might have slipped, maybe tripped him a little bit, but Cannon gets the call.
Cannon to the free throw line. Just signed a couple of days ago. Last year with the Bulls, as I mentioned earlier, appeared in 39 games, only averaged 5 points per game, a career low. And for a guy who needs to shoot the ball well to stay in the league, shot just 27% from 3 last year as Paul comes out. And Eric Gordon returns for Houston.
Yeah, they had a lot of troubles there in Chicago last year. Isaiah Cannon was just one of the guys that didn't fit well in their offense, what they were trying to do.
He was the only draft pick for the Rockets in 2013 in the second round out of Murray State. Thunder on a bit of a spurt here, outscoring the Rockets 13-6. Gordon up top and knocks down another 3. Eric Gordon now with 4 threes here in the first half, all in the second quarter. He's got 15.
He added some arc to his shot this year. He's shooting it a little bit higher. It looks really, really soft.
Gambling on the steal was Tucker. Didn't get there. Thought maybe Anthony pushed off on him as Carmelo lays it up and in. Bart one-on-one here with Anthony. Takes him off the dribble, draws 2 defenders, and it results in that.
Clint's going to get a lot of those this year. He's going to get a lot of real easy dunks from both Harden and Chris Paul.
That's 5 assists for James Harden, so 11 assists between James Harden and Chris Paul. I think they're going to coexist just fine. Grant flat on the three. A lob, skip pass, nice one by Clint. And nearly tipped in by George.
Good pass there by Clint, though. If he doesn't have a shot as he's rolling there, he knows he's got guys in both corners.
Under 2 to play in the half. Carmelo gets it back and drains it. These two teams will play in Oklahoma City on Christmas. Ariza cuts to the rim. The rim may have prevented him from getting that layup to drop a little bit as he tried to work by Grant. Anthony for three. Great half for Carmelo Anthony. That's his third make from deep. Now leads all scorers in the gym with 19. As this is just a 6-point Houston lead. Crowd on their feet here in Tulsa. Carmelo with a forearm shiver to the chin of James and the foul as we head to break with 62 seconds to play in the half.
Heineken is served in 192 countries. It's world famous. Like me.
Come here, look.
It happens all the time.
He's ready. Oh. Antonio Banderas. It's Antonio Banderas from the movies.
Enjoyed in 192 countries. There's more behind the star.
When deciding to deal in palms, Arby's had a choice to make. Eggplant palm or the new, unconventional chicken pepperoni palm. We chose the path with juicy buttermilk chicken and slices of pepperoni. Because no offense to eggplant, but what is it? Arby's, we have the meat.
You have a vision. It drives you. It inspires you. It's behind everything you do. Even when you least expect it, it comes through. You know what you want, and we can help make it real. You want choices? We've got lots. Pick a design. Make it your own. And if you get stuck, we can help. Add a special finish. Or try a premium paper. Whatever you choose, we absolutely guarantee the paper, the printing, even your design, every time, for any reason. Because you have a vision, and we have your card. 500 start at just $9.99 when you enter promo code BC500 at Vistaprint.com.
More of that. We got hundreds and hundreds of live games.
A gorgeous spin.
Get the full season.
All season long.
Monthly pricing. No sweat. Oh, you just want to watch your team. Yes, sir. Anytime, anywhere. It's that easy. Fire it up on all your connected devices. To order NBA League Pass, go to NBA.com/League Pass or purchase with the NBA app.
2 to play in the first half. Misses the first free throw. The Rockets were up 15. Now that lead is only 6. Carmelo Anthony has scored the last 7 points for the Thunder as James splits the free throws. Go right back to the hot hand and Anthony. Extended ball pressure there by Tucker. George thought about it. Hunter out along the baseline for Anthony. And a rebound poked and picked up by Tucker.
2-for-1 situation here.
Rockets wants the best in the game in these situations.
That's why the shot was early.
seconds of the half. George for three in the corner, in and out, no good.
So now the Rockets have the second possession here as the clock is running down.
Up by 7. See if they can get it back to 10 going into the break. Hard working on Felt, got by him. Flip it up, no. Tip try by Bahamute, no, and that'll do it. As the half comes to a close here in Tulsa, the Rockets drilled 7 threes in the second quarter, led by as many as 15. And here at halftime, lead the Thunder by 7, 59-52. Stay tuned for the Rockets halftime report with Kevin and Calvin, presented by Lexus. Don't go away, right here on AT&T Sportsnet.
At Sam Adams, we take training seriously. Because there could be only one Sam Adams Oktoberfest Stein hoisting champion. Hold out a Stein filled with sweet, malty, and delicious Oktoberfest the longest and win. But then again, with a Stein filled with Oktoberfest in hand, aren't we all winners? It's everything you love about fall in one sip. Sam Adams Oktoberfest, the Stein-worthiest beer of fall.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, it's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at GoArmy.com/team.
This Columbus Day at Joseph A. Bank, get up to 60% off almost everything in store. Plus, Traveler and 1905 suits for $249. And all dress shirts, including our best-selling Traveler shirt, 2 for $89. The Columbus Day sale, only at Joseph A. Bank.
These birds, once affected by oil, are heading back home thanks to Dawn. Rescue workers only trust Dawn because it's tough on grease, yet gentle.
I am home, I am home, I am home.
Hey, my name's Chris.
Hi, I'm Courtney. Hi, I'm Catherine. I'm sharing my first match story. Here goes. I am looking to explore, have fun.
I'm looking for somebody to take on the world with me. Take on the world.
If I'm not home or working, you can probably find me at the beach.
And that's my match story.
I'm excited to see yours.
See more stories and share your own with new Match Stories. Start for free today.
There's a reason this season can't come soon enough. Why NBA history is always being rewritten. And why this game is about more than just basketball. There's a reason this fall is going to be hotter than the summer. Why 2 seconds can feel like an eternity. And why any city can become the center of the universe.
It's the Rams and the Aggies, Saturday at 3:30 on AT&T Sportsnet.
Hey, if you're looking for two-handed chest passes and good defense, you've probably come to the wrong place. The Rockets and Oklahoma City Thunder lighting it up at halftime as a 59-52 count is the score as the Rockets leading the Oklahoma City Thunder. He is the Hall of Famer Calvin Murphy. I'm Kevin Eschenfelder. Welcome to the Rockets Halftime Report presented by Lexus. Up and down they go in this one. I think you might see the Rockets shoot a few threes this season if the first half of the first preseason game is any indication.
Well, it was unbelievable that they shot as well as they did the first half of the first game. You don't expect to see, your legs a little weary to start the season off with, exhibition or not. And the Rockets did a fantastic job moving that ball, getting themselves in the position to get good looks at three. And, of course, they hit it. They were, 12 for like 27?
Yeah, exactly. From what we've seen so far in this first half, I think it's a lot cleaner play than I was expecting, to be honest with you. And I know there's not a lot of defense going on right now, but the guys, for the most part, are going to space. And I think that kind of speaks to really the the beauty of the simplicity of Mike D'Antoni's
Well, you know, actually, the Rockets did a nice job defensively to start the game off with. So, with that being said, they forced the Thunder to go to the perimeter. Now, the Rockets are looking to go to the perimeter. So, what they simply do is play good defense, come up, they cause them to have 16 turnovers. They push the ball down, move the ball around, get themselves in the position to get good looks at the threes.
Well, the big names have scored big points in this first half. Carmelo Anthony with 19 points. He leads all scorers. The Rockets led by as many as 15 in the second quarter and lead by 7 at the break. More to come here on the Lexus Halftime Report in just a moment.
Introducing
the never-before-seen
next level of innovation. Redesigned,
reimagined,
reborn,
new, used, certified pre-owned.
Ford, Toyota, Subaru,
Volkswagen,
Honda, GMC, featuring
backup camera,
EcoBoost, all-wheel drive,
low miles,
park assist, sport mode,
for wherever you
dream of going.
For drivers everywhere,
for the ride of your life, for the driven.
Shop all the cars all in one place. Auto Trader. If you can't find your next car here, you won't find it anywhere.
It's all pop culture trivia, but it gets pretty intense.
The new guy. Wow,
he looks exactly like me.
No.
Separated at birth much? We should switch name tags and no one would know who is who.
Jamie, you seriously think you look like him?
I'm pretty good with comparisons. Like how Progressive helps people save money by comparing rates, even if they're not the lowest. Whoa! Wow. I mean, the outfit helps, but pretty great. Look at us.
When a fire is going on, you're not thinking clearly, so they called the fire department for us.
I could hear crackling in the walls. My mind went totally blank.
All I remember saying was, my boyfriend's beating me, and you took her from there.
And all of this occurred in 4 minutes or less.
I am grateful we all made it out safely.
People you don't know care about you.
It's kind of one of those things where you can't even thank somebody.
To protect what you love, call 1-800-ADT-CARES.
We just gotta take it one game at a time. Next question.
Odell, can you repeat everything you just said? My live stream won't load.
Technical foul.
Wrong sport.
Wrong network. You see, you need unlimited on Verizon. It's America's largest, most reliable 4G LTE network. They won't let you down in places like this, even in the strike zone.
It's the red zone.
Pretty sure it's the strike zone. Here, use mine. All right, see you on the court, champ. Heads up.
When it really, really matters, you need the best network and the best unlimited. Plans now start at $40 per line for 4 lines.
What in off-season?
It's a new start. It's a fresh start.
Who's ready to help right now?
He went to the rookie and he delivered.
The champs look ready to defend. Who's ready to contend?
I'm looking forward to it.
Get ready. Watch team previews tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern on NBA TV.
Westbrook, you want more of that? Hundreds and hundreds of live games. Get the full season or monthly pricing. No sweat. To order NBA League Pass, go to NBA.com/League Pass or purchase with the NBA app.
Also, not pretty well, does a great job at is when he doesn't get the assist, he moves the ball to someone who puts them in the position to come up with an assist. And that's major.
Another thing too, though, and we saw that a year ago when you got more weapons on this team. When Eric Gordon was in the game, you have to respect the fact that he can score, and that way, I mean, it brings other guys open. He can drop it off to other people, and he can score. If you play him honest, he'll beat you that way.
Absolutely. And you know, when the season starts, you can be assured when CP3's on the floor and you have a Gordon who's going to spread the floor and you've got to honor him, that's going to open up those seams for Chris Paul to get to the basket easier when you've got to guard that perimeter game with those kind of shooters out there.
Rockets 7-point lead at halftime in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Take a break. Get you ready for the second half. Coming up next here on the Lexus Halftime Report.
Nationwide is on your side.
What you think?
We're almost there. On the jingle, though, Brad, I want to feel it right here.
Right here in the chest?
No, your heart.
Heart.
In your heart. Yes! Close. We're almost there. Almost.
Well, basically got it, right?
Basically almost, but you're doing great.
What did I just get into?
Nothing.
Arby's roast beef requires no introduction. But chicken at Arby's? That requires some introducing. Chicken. juicy buttermilk chicken hand-dipped in buffalo sauce, a new chicken pepperoni palm with fresh mozzarella. So many kinds of chicken! Arby's, we have the meat.
I used to love going to sports bars for honey barbecue chicken, but now I'm doing the dad thing.
Yeah, he is.
So we go to DQ for the honey barbecue glazed chicken strip basket. I like this dad thing.
I like this blizzard thing.
The sauced and tossed honey barbecue glazed chicken strip basket, only at DQ.
I finally figured out what car to get. Now, where to find the best deal?
You know, why don't I help?
What's that?
Car Gurus. Color?
Silver. Car Gurus?
Low miles, 2 grand below market value, 5-star dealer rating. Ooh, I'm beat.
Let's do it your way, then.
I heard that.
Car Gurus. Find great deals from top-rated dealers near you at cargurus.com.
I used to love going to sports bars for honey barbecue chicken, but now I'm doing the dad thing.
Yeah, he is.
So we go to DQ for the honey barbecue glazed chicken strip basket. I like this dad thing.
I like this blizzard thing.
The sauced and tossed honey barbecue glazed chicken strip basket, only at DQ.
Hundreds and hundreds of live games.
Gorgeous spin.
Anytime, anywhere. To order NBA League Pass, go to NBA.com/League Pass or purchase with the NBA app.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
Time that could be better.
Rockets Halftime Report on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Lexus. Experience amazing.
Think they don't do some coaching in the NBA? 59-52 is the halftime score back here. Well, the Rockets halftime report presented by Lexus. The Rockets lead by 7 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Eric Gordon has been the offense so far for the Rockets. One of 2 Rockets in double figures. Harden's got 11. What have you seen from Eric Gordon in his 15?
Well, first of all, he's in shape. He came into camp in shape because as a shooter, his legs have got to be strong. And when you start looking at from the field at 55% and behind the three-point line at 80 in the first exhibition game, you've done your job during the summer getting ready to play basketball.
Cleaner played first half than you were expecting? I say yes.
Well, yeah. First of all, nobody's putting any pressure on anybody defensively, so there's not going to be a lot of bumping and grinding out there early. Nobody wants to be hurt.
Like all-star game defense so far in the first half.
Not quite that bad.
Second half is coming up next with Craig and Bull. We'll see you on the postgame.
This Columbus Day at Joseph A. Bank, get up to 60% off almost everything in store. Plus, Traveler and 1905 suits for $249. And all dress shirts, including a best-selling Traveler shirt, 2 for $89. The Columbus Day sale, only at Joseph A. Bank.
Carbs to refuel. Electrolytes to help replenish what you lose in sweat. Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, and refuel.
Nine out of 10 couples prefer a different mattress firmness, so we created the only bed that adjusts on both sides to your ideal comfort, your Sleep Number setting. You can even see how well you're sleeping and make adjustments. Does your bed do that? The most amazing part is they start at $699. That's $200 off our Queen C2 mattress during our fall sale. And soon. Visit sleepnumber.com for a store near you.
I love you, Basement Guest Bathroom. Your privacy makes you my #1 place to go #2. I love you, but sometimes you stink. Febreze Air Effects doesn't just mask, it cleans away odors. Because the things you love the most can stink. And try Febreze Small Spaces to clean away odors for up to 30 days. Breathe happy with Febreze.
I can shut down your power grids. I can paralyze your infrastructure. I can access the personal data of everyone in America. I am the enemy with no face, and I can't be stopped.
For every would-be cyber attack, there's a team of U.S. Army cyber warriors who will not be defeated. Find out more at GoArmy.com/team.
Deep shot. You want more of that? We got you. Hundreds and hundreds of live games.
A gorgeous spin.
Get the full season.
All season long.
Monthly pricing. No sweat. Oh, you just want to watch your team. Yes, sir. Anytime, anywhere. It's that easy. Fire it up on all your connected devices. To order NBA League Pass, go to NBA.com/League Pass or purchase with the NBA app.
Halftime here in Tulsa, the Rockets leading the Thunder 59-52 as we take a real quick look at the first half stats here. Thunder out shooting the Rockets, but the difference in this basketball game, as is the case in many games, the Rockets play three-point shooting. The Rockets 12 of 27, OKC 5 of 13. Third quarter now officially underway. New NBA timing rules apply to halftime as well. Nice, quick, and efficient. And the Rockets hit yet another three, number 13 here in this game. Of course, last season, Matt, the magic number for the Rockets was when they hit 15 threes, they did not lose. They hit 15 or more threes last year, an NBA record 41 times. In those games, they went 36-5. That's a long two on the line for Paul George.
See, the difference in the score in this game is the Rockets have made more threes. Both teams have made the same number of field goals, but the Rockets lead is because they've made more threes. Because, Craig, as I always say, 3 counts more than 2.
And there's another 3 for CP3. 14 of them now for Houston. And it was just a matter of time before we got the math lesson from Matt Bullen. 3 indeed is greater than 2.
I mean, it's just simple math.
It is simple math. It's simple as it gets. Cannon's threes in the starting lineup. Begin the half, had it blocked by Capella. And then Robertson with the loose ball. And then another, was it a foul or clock problem?
Yeah, the shot clock got reset when it should not have. Chris had the ball in his hand, but he was looking to run the fast break before he really corralled the basketball. So now the officials are going to decide and see how much time. Looks like they're going to give him 2 seconds on the shot clock right now. Here's where Chris should have taken the ball, but he just lost it over his shoulder. And that is a shot clock violation. The officials say finally that, yeah, 24 seconds has elapsed.
All right. All is well that ends well. Everybody who has played so far for the Rockets has scored, all 8 guys. Chris Paul included. He and James Harden combining for 11 assists in the first half. And Paul George picks up the personal. And that is going to be his 5th foul. Paul George with 5 fouls now. Grant breaks up the lob. And they're going to call a jump ball. Good challenge there by Grant, who is a springy athlete. Excellent weak side defender in terms of shot blocking, and in that case, tying up Clint Capella.
This was a lob for a dunk, and look at Jeremy Grant go up there and get his hand on the ball. So they call it jump ball because they figured Clint was going to try to dunk this. That's just great defense. I think the jump ball is probably not the right call. They should have just let him keep playing.
But Grant can get up. So Carmelo Anthony obviously not out there. The game's leading scorer with 19 here in this second half. Probably done for the night. Skip pass in the corner. Anderson for 3. Wow. That's 3 threes here in the third quarter for the Rockets. The lead expands to 14.
Yeah, and Ryan's going to get a lot more corner threes this year because of the way the Rockets are going to play their offense.
Anderson now with 10 points, the 4th Rocket already in double digits, his 3rd 3. Grant wide open. He misses. Harden. Bit of an errant pass. Ariza takes it from George. Steps back in the corner. Again! Threes are raining down from the heavens here in Tulsa.
The Rockets bench was up on that step back 3 from Trevor Ariza. They loved it.
This is Houston's biggest lead of the night. Wow. That's Ariza's 3rd 3. Grant got to the rack for 2.
He's really turned into a nice player, Grant is.
Off the fingertips of Clint Capella.
Go back to Trevor Ariza on the step back. He was able to corral the basketball, step back behind the line. You don't want to shoot a long 2 if you're a Rocket. Hey, what a shot by Trevor.
Of course, Trevor Ariza is the king of the corner 3, having led the NBA and made corner 3s, what, 4 years in a row?
Forever.
I think. And of course, that particular play, that is Houston in a nutshell. Nearly had it stolen, got it back, realized that he was inside the arc, and then stepped back outside of the arc to get the wide open corner 3.
Oh, watch out.
Uh-oh.
Looks like Adams might have gotten the worst of the 2. James was on his back, and James looked like he was going to flip over the top.
And they're going to review this.
Adams is a pretty tough guy, but he's trying to walk something up. I'm not exactly sure where he got hurt, but that could have been really, really bad for both players.
I thought maybe it was a shoulder, but by the looks of it, might be an ankle or a leg or something. But they're going to review this to determine whether or not they should upgrade this.
Really good ball movement from the Thunder, moving that ball around. Boom, boom. Now, see, James goes up on the pump fake. Oh, yeah, oh, my. What did happen to Adams? Not sure, but James used Adams' shoulder to keep himself from getting flipped. See, James grabs onto him there. That could have been. That might have tweaked his back a little bit.
Yeah.
But this is the first preseason game. You don't want anybody to get hurt in preseason.
And they're going to upgrade it to a flagrant 1. I think that's the right call.
Yeah, I don't think James was intentionally trying to hurt him.
But it certainly fills the criteria of unnecessary.
Correct. James grabbing him was unnecessary for the basketball play, but it was necessary for James to keep himself from flipping over and landing on his head. But will Adams be able to shoot these free throws? If he's not able to shoot, then he will be done for the game. Yeah, so Paul George will shoot for him, and that means Adams will be done for the night.
Yeah, I think he's already headed back to their locker room. Dakari Johnson, second-round pick by this Thunder team a couple of years ago, is in the game for Adams, and George splits the pair. George has more fouls than he has shots made here in this game. 5 in the foul department and 4 in the field goals department. It'll be interesting when these 3 get together. We're talking about Anthony, Westbrook, and George, because last year the Thunder were dead last in the league in passes per game and per possession. You got a lot of talk about, again, James and Chris, can they coexist? Same kind of conversation I imagine is going to go on. Can those 3 guys coexist with one ball? The fact that Russell Westbrook last year en route to his MVP had the highest usage rate in NBA history, as they used up nearly 42% of their possessions.
If that happens again this year, there's going to be some unhappy guys on the Thunder team.
Anderson misses the 3 there straight away. Will remain OKC's way.
I certainly would not want to have to handle the basketball around Chris Paul.
Grant penetrating. Thunder continue to work it around the perimeter. George on Ariza, terrific defense there, preventing the drive. Shot clock winding down, and then Harden spikes it, and it results in a turnover.
Good defense here by the Rockets. They were able to get everything covered. Nice defensive play there by Harden. But this lineup that OKC has on the floor is not their main guys. OKC, I don't think, will come back with their starting lineup for the rest of the game, although the Rockets are still playing their starters.
As was indicated by Mike D'Antoni before the ball game. Clint down low. Trying to step under. Anderson misses the tap follow. Oh, nearly stolen by Harden. Paul George over Chris Paul. Foul is going to be on Andre Robertson. That's number 2 on Robertson. Mbah a Moute in, Ryan Anderson out.
Mbah a Moute is a big pickup for the Rockets as that backup 4.
Ariza underneath. Call for the walk. Basket will not count. He's one of now 5 Rockets in double digits with 11. Eric Gordon leads all Houston scores with 15, 11 apiece for Harden and Chris Paul, and 10 points for Ryan Anderson. Great balance for the Rockets here tonight, their preseason opener. 2 weeks from tonight, Houston in Oakland against the defending champion Warriors. That will be fun. The earliest regular season start for the Rockets since I think like 1980. And delay a game warning on the Thunder, as that's now 8 straight for OKC.
The NBA shortened the preseason by a week so that they can extend the regular season by a week and spread out some of the games so that teams no longer have 4 games in 5 nights. There's an 8-second violation on the Rockets.
And that'll take us to a timeout. 6:55 to play in the third. Thunder on the move.
Heineken is served in 192 countries. It's world famous. Like me.
Look.
It happens all the time.
He's ready. Oh.
Antonio Banderas. It's Antonio Banderas from the movies.
Enjoyed in 192 countries. There's more behind the star.
Where's Gary?
Saved money on motorcycle insurance with Geico. Going up the country. Later, Gary.
I have a motorcycle. Wonderful.
Geico Motorcycle. Great rates for great rides.
The modern man values craftsmanship, confidence, and hard work. At Joseph A. Bank, we create classic menswear tailored for the modern man, because looking good is a tradition that never goes out of style.
When we moved, we didn't have anything, so we used OfferUp, a free app that let us find awesome things our neighbors were selling. It was a great way to furnish our home and get to know our new city.
Now we have lots of furniture and a lot of new friends, too.
OfferUp is free to use. Find anything you want nearby.
Jimmy Goldstein, one of the great NBA fans of all time.
I've attended more than 4,000 games. I'm somewhat of an NBA historian. The TNT difference is no one else can duplicate their style and humor.
Yeah. What is that, Versace?
No, Garbace. Charles, try to get a little more hip.
Personally, I think I look delicious. Can't be calling no grown man delicious.
The more I watch TNT, the more I enjoy it.
In a designer suit.
Find nearest bakery.
Showing nearby bakeries.
Find closest greeting card shop. Find party supply store near here. I got it all.
Where's my mom?
She wasn't on the list.
The 2018 Corolla, loaded with the latest tech and Toyota Safety Sense standard. Toyota, let's go places.
8 straight points with the Thunder, 71-62, though the Rockets still lead here with 6:55 to play in the third quarter in the preseason opener for both of these teams. Rockets 16 of 32 from 3, and we're not even midway through the third quarter. Harden, number 17 on the way. Nope, a little bit strong there. Looks like all of the regulars for the Thunder, with the exception of Grant, are out of this ball game for Billy Donovan. Shot clock winding down. They're not going to get it off.
Another great defensive possession by the Rockets. But again, they're playing against the second unit of the Thunder. But there's your guy, Jeff Bzdelik. He's the Rockets defensive coach. And the Rockets have talked about how they want to build on what he started last year and become a better defensive team this year.
Top 5 is the goal. Alley-oop.
Nice. That was a long pass, too. A set play. And we saw that last year for Clint, but what a great pass over the top.
43 feet. Nearly at midcourt.
Might almost been 44 feet.
Hey, James Harden with a double-double. Assist number 10 to go along with his 11 points. Double dribble.
Go back and take a look at the alley-oop. Good back screen, and James has got to throw it over the top. No ball pressure on James, so he's able to get a perfect pass. Defender's got to get his hands up there, but that was really well executed by the Rockets.
Talking about before that last break, Matt, about the condensed preseason schedule. The Rockets play 5 of them. The Thunder are playing 4. Some teams are playing as few as 3 preseason games as Harden contorts his body and scores 2 in the paint. Some teams are playing as many as 6 in the preseason this go around. Unable to finish his cannon. Rockets will push. Thunder are back. Paul gonna dance. Hard steps left. Call for a walk.
Wow, they called a travel on that. That was a beautiful shot. Let's take a look at his feet as he stepped. Yeah, maybe. He should have put the ball down one more time, and that would have been a good move, but still a great shot.
I think maybe perhaps because of that step left was so exaggerated. Maybe it drew some additional attention.
We've got him. Oh. Chris Paul was over there talking.
And a tee.
Chris Paul's appeared to come off the bench.
Yeah, it's the tee for not having 5 players on the floor. Don't see that very often.
Now Trevor's going to take a seat. That was an odd play. We'll just chalk that up to preseason mistake.
Second year for Mike as the Rockets head coach. Second time he won Coach of the Year, previously with the Phoenix Suns back in 2005. And is now armed with a team that, man, I think is one of the deepest, if not the deepest team the Rockets have ever had.
And with players that fit D'Antoni's system.
Long three for Paul, rimmed short, long rebound for Bamute. Paul down the baseline, skip pass, what a look, wide open, Eric Gordon splash.
So nice. So nice. And Mike D'Antoni is known as a great point guard coach. And now he's got 2 of the best point guards of our generation on the same roster, Harden and Paul.
Eric Gordon, 5 threes, 18 points. Set an NBA record last year for the most threes in a single season as a reserve. Harden, a contested 3. Got it over Hamilton. Timeout, Thunder. The Rockets just draining threes from everywhere tonight.
At Sam Adams, we take training seriously. Because there could be only one Sam Adams Oktoberfest Stein hoisting champion. Hold out a Stein filled with sweet, malty, and delicious Oktoberfest the longest and win. But then again, with a Stein filled with Oktoberfest in hand, aren't we all winners? It's everything you love about fall in one sip. Sam Adams Oktoberfest, the Stein-worthiest beer of fall.
Hi, Phil Swift here for Flex Tape. The super strong waterproof tape that can instantly patch, bond, seal, and repair.
Flex Tape's triple thick adhesive virtually welds itself to the surface, instantly stopping the toughest leaks. And now you can even make repairs underwater.
Flex Tape is super strong, and once it's on, it holds on tight.
And for emergency auto repair, Flex Tape keeps its grip. Flex Tape comes super wide, so you can easily patch large holes.
To show you the power of Flex Tape,
sawed this boat in half and repaired it with only Flex Tape.
Not only does Flex Tape hold the boat together, but the inside is completely dry. Yeah, doggy!
You get a large roll of Flex Tape and a handy can for just $19.99. Call now.
There's a reason this season can't come soon enough. Why NBA history is always being rewritten. And why this game is about more than just basketball. There's a reason this fall is going to be hotter than the summer. Why 2 seconds can feel like an eternity. And why any city can become the center of the universe.
To order NBA League Pass, go to NBA.com/League Pass or purchase with the NBA app. You want more of that? We got you. Hundreds and hundreds of live games. Monthly pricing, no sweat. Anytime, anywhere. It's that easy. To order NBA League Pass, go to NBA.com/League Pass or purchase with the NBA app.
Beyond the headlines.
Are you following AT&T Sportsnet on social media, from player and team stats to trivia and behind-the-scenes photos? Find us on Facebook and Twitter for the latest on the Rockets all season long. Rockets on a 10-1 run here as they have opened things back up again. Leading 81-63. The Rockets here in the third quarter, 6 of 9 from beyond the three-point line. Now up to 18 makes from 3 here in the game as Cannon uncorks one in the corner for the Thunder.
The question now becomes is how much longer will the Rocket starters play in this game? Obviously, they're playing against the second or even third team of the Thunder right now. You want your starters to get in shape, but you don't want them to get hurt.
Mute down the baseline. In the corner, Eric Gordon. A little bit flat. Poked out to Cannon. Grant attacks and scores.
He's really turned into a nice player. His dad and his uncle both played in the NBA, Harvey and Horace Grant. He has really turned into a good NBA player.
Tucker rimming short there. Back to a trailing Hamilton. His wraparound errant picked up by Tucker. Here come the Rockets again. Ooh, a little fancy action there from Chris Paul. Mute cuts, gets fouled. Those two guys, of course, teammates with one another in Los Angeles. The 16th annual Rockets Run, presented by Memorial Hermann Health Plan, will be held on Saturday, November the 4th. Choose your pace and register for the 5K run, the 2-mile walk, or the kids 1K. All courses finish on the Rockets home court, and a portion of every entry fee benefits Children's Memorial Hermann. For more information or to register, visit rockets.com. Chris Paul has come out of the game. Mute, last couple of years there with Chris Paul with the Clippers.
Good addition to this Rockets lineup.
His 6th NBA team, professional defender. And the Rockets with all kinds of ball pressure there force the Thunder into yet another turnover. It's number 17.
Ferguson giving it all he got, trying to guard Harden.
This is the 3 there. Johnson on Tucker. Spins, cannot finish.
PJ Tucker is so strong on defense.
Ariza catches, releases, got fouled, and banked it in. He'll toe the line for 1.
Well, it is the Bank of Oklahoma Center. Bank is open late here. Ariza goes up, and he got hit on the elbow. That's why the shot was long. Got lucky, though.
Completes the sequence there with a free throw. Trevor Ariza's first free throw of the game, now up to 15 points, 4 of 6 from 3.
Now that we've established that 3 is better than 2, we're going to say that 4 is better than 3.
Yes, it is. Hamilton, tough runner, good defense by Tucker, gets the ball back, got tripped up and fouled. 1:35 to play here in the third. And that, of course, we kind of touched upon this at the top of the show, but the Rockets right now currently sort of in a transition period from ownership from Leslie Alexander to Tillman Fertitta. And I tell you what, we're all happy to have Tillman Fertitta as the new owner of the Rockets, but I think at the same time, Matt, we're all kind of sad to see Mr. Alexander go as well. He's been one of the best owners in professional sports.
In Houston, no doubt, Leslie Alexander brought 2 championships to the city of Houston. Clutch City was born. Leslie Alexander was a tremendous owner for the Rockets, but I think the transition to Tillman Fertitta will be very, very smooth, and I think Rockets fans will be very happy with the way Mr. Fertitta takes over ownership.
Yeah, I'd like to wish Mr. Alexander all the best in the next phase of his life. So generous in the community as well. He's just been a terrific owner for the players, for the franchise, for employees, for the city. As that's another 3.
The Rockets organization is in great shape.
And of course, one of the reasons why the team was sold to Tillman Fertitta is because it was important to the organization and Mr. Alexander to have somebody local purchase the team, and I think that's going to be a great thing for the franchise and for the fans to have somebody like Mr. Fertitta come on board, a Galveston native, a lifetime Houstonian, somebody who's been associated with the Rockets for more than 2 decades. I think it's, all things considered, it's going to be, as you mentioned, an easy, perfect transition in all those scenarios.
Yeah, I'm aware that Mr. Fertitta, he wants to win a championship. That's what everybody wants to do in this Rockets organization, from the president, Tad Brown, to Daryl Morey, the general manager, to Mike D'Antoni, the coach, and the Rockets roster. Rockets organization is very healthy and poised to compete for that championship.
Yeah, the purchase agreement is in place, and all that's left is the league owners to vote, and that will happen this week. Of course, the organization will have a press conference once all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed. Harden will step back for 3, and somebody opened a couple of doors here. That one was wide left. Harden thought he got fouled.
I think he said that either he got fouled or he thought maybe the ball was tipped, blocked.
Singler in, and he had a really bad year for the Thunder last season, and that shot was not a good start to this go-around. Thunder will have the final possession of the third. Rockets leading this thing comfortably. Hard working on Eustace, takes him off the dribble, had that shot pinned on the glass. Back come the Thunder. Tied up, Gordon. Ferguson, right place, right time, laid it up and in. The Tulsa native, the 19-year-old. And that is how the third quarter will come to a close as the Rockets hit 8 more threes in the period. And with 12 minutes to play here in Tulsa, lead by 17.
Introducing Wendy's new Giant Junior Bacon Cheeseburger.
It's a Giant Junior?
Yeah, it's a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger with double the fresh, never frozen beef, bacon, and cheese. So it's made a big name for itself. For a limited time, get the Giant JBC meal for just $5.
I've seen them all. Big, small, wide, slim, downright skinny. Long arms, long body, long neck. Boulder-bellied and barrel-chested. But I've never seen two exactly the same. Not yet. Which is why in every Men's Warehouse, our expert stylists and master tailors create the perfect fit that's unique to only you. Because no matter what size your label says, it's time to like the way you look.
There's nothing more important to me than my vacation. So when I need to book a hotel, I want someone who makes it easy. Booking.com gets it. And with their price match, I know I'm getting the best price every time.
Visit Booking.com. Booking.yeah.
Hey, think you've seen it all in razors? Get ready to see shaving in a whole new light.
Introducing the all-new Tough Blade Pro, the breakthrough in precision shaving from Microtouch, with a laser guide for perfect alignment, a built-in spotlight, and vibrating handle.
This isn't just a new razor. This is a better way to shave period.
Fitted with the finest German-engineered stainless steel blades, smart space to rinse out cleaner, and each blade has a micro-thin non-stick coating to help last up to 4 times longer than ordinary blades. Now, you can have an entire year's worth of shaving, all for just $24.99. Call 1-800-853-3174 or on the web at toughbladepro.com. Or you can text to order. Just text BLADE to 246810. Order right now, and we'll include our lighted micro-touch trimmer free.
Tough Blade Pro. See the quality, see the value, and now, see the light.
Rockets basketball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. We're through 3 here in Tulsa, preseason opener for the Rockets, and all is well as they lead 90-73. The Rockets shooting 20 of 42 from beyond the arc. It is 48%. Last season, Matt, the Rockets set an NBA record by hitting 20 or more threes in the game 10 times, and already first game out of the chute. They've done it here in Tulsa.
In 3 quarters.
3 quarters. NBA records, what, 25 in a game. Rockets had tied it with, 24, and then Cleveland set a new record last year with 25.
That record's falling this year.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, the strip by Tucker. The Rockets, by the way, have also bludgeoned the Thunder here in terms of turnovers. They've outscored them up into this possession, 31-8 points off turnovers.
I think that was the 9th steal for the Rockets that last possession. And I think the Rockets this year have a chance. I think they could probably get 30 made threes in a game. If they get hot, the way they're creating open threes with Harden and Chris Paul tonight, just in the first game we've seen them. Travel.
All right, so you turn it over, I turn it over. You turn it right back over again.
I love turnovers.
I know you do.
Cherry and apple, but not these kind.
Already in midseason form, the math turnover reference. You are ready to go. 18 of them now for the Thunder, the Rockets with 11. Of course, Rockets need to, with the turnover department last year, 22nd in turnover percentage, area of improvement they're looking to get better at this season as Splash Gordon knocks down yet another 3. He's got 21 points, now 6 of 8 from deep.
Splash Gordon's 3 looks even better this year. He put a little extra arc on his shot throughout the summer. Tremendous.
Eustace has no chance against Tucker, does he?
He's a youngster. P.J. Tucker's been around a long time.
Yeah, Josh Eustace was the first ever domestic drafted stash player. Oh! A little frisky up and under. Finger roll there for Tucker.
Like the Scola scoop.
Yeah. Ferguson, the catch, release, and make. Mentioned earlier, he was born here in Tulsa, went to high school in Dallas. He skipped last year, which would have been his freshman year in college, and played professionally in Australia.
Now, more guys are doing that. Instead of going to college, they're going to play professionally in other leagues around the world. Of course, the G League is also a nice shot there by Eustace.
Yeah, Eustace has only appeared in 7 NBA games total in his 2 years so far in the league. Tucker. Foul on Tucker. Free throws coming up for Ferguson, who was the 21st pick in this last draft by Oklahoma City.
Hey, Craig, opening night presented by Toyota is Saturday, October 21st. You'll be there, right?
Yeah.
As the Rockets take on the Dallas Mavericks. Doors open at 5:30. Go to Rockets.com to secure your opening night tickets today. And you better do that quickly because tickets are going to be hard to come by this year.
Now Mike D'Antoni extending the rotation here at the 9:24 mark of the 4th quarter. Coming in is Demetrius Jackson, the first ever player in Rockets franchise history to be working on one of those two-way contracts that we talked about earlier on in the telecast.
Those two-way contracts are very important to keep guys like Jackson in the United States. You know, a player who's kind of on the cusp of the NBA has a chance to make more money overseas, probably. Mbah a Moute misses a three. But those two-way contracts are going to keep some more of those players in the States playing in the G League and helping them develop.
Isaiah Taylor is in, as is Chris Johnson. Layup is good for Grant. Taylor hesitates, does not pull the trigger. Spinning is Jackson. And a walk, pivot foot move, the ball hit the floor by Taylor. The Rockets turn it back over.
Seen quite a few traveling calls here tonight.
A lot.
Officials are apparently going to tighten that up this season.
Guess no more happy feet. Not much spacing there, and it results in Hustis running his man into Ferguson, committing the foul. Another turnover for the Thunder. Rockets will be at home on Thursday for their preseason home debut against the Shanghai Sharks. Second year in a row the Rockets and Sharks have played one another in the preseason.
That's always a fun game. Yao Ming is no longer the owner of the Shanghai Sharks. Now, Yao Ming is now the commissioner of the CBA. So the Chinese Basketball Association is going to take off. I mean, it's already a lot of money in that league, but with Yao as the commissioner, I think there's going to be a lot of really good players over there. In fact, Luis Scola is playing in China this year.
So is Demo, Donatas Motiejunas.
Yeah.
Ty Lawson's over there.
Well, Yao already doing a good job of bringing some high-level players to that league.
Rule in the CBA, only 2 foreign-born players allowed per roster.
And, of course, the Rockets have Joe Chi, who's been playing in the CBA. In fact, Joe
right on cue. There you go.
Put a check in right in front of us. And Joe Chi is 7'1", very young player, but great shooter, highly skilled at 7'1". Look forward to seeing him in the Rockets uniform.
Pass deflected. Shot clock winding down. Long three contested from Taylor. Off the glass and rim, no good. The defense again by Mbah a Moute. Singler over Capella.
Those corner threes are the shots that Singler has to make. He's going to stay with the Thunder.
Quite frankly, the last couple of years, he has not. Mbah a Moute to the left.
Nice move by Mbah a Moute. He's the typical 3-and-D player. He shoots threes and he's an excellent defender, but if he can get that drive to the basket going, he's going to have more space here in the Rockets offense to do that.
All about defensive versatility now with this group, with the additions of Mbah a Moute and Tucker coming off the bench, giving the Rockets the luxury to basically switch everything. And that comes in handy against teams like, say, I don't know, the Golden State Warriors.
In fact, that's the way the Warriors have been playing defense, is by switching everything. So the Rockets kind of adapting their defense to be more like Golden State is going to be a lot more effective.
Mbah a Moute, good smooth catch, better release, and the finish as a result.
Yeah, he's going to be a great fit for the Rockets. Really, really good pickup by Daryl Morey.
8.7 rebounds for Mbah a Moute, his second triple. Last year he shot a career best 39% from three for the Clippers. That corner three is good by Hamilton. Good looking shot there. Taylor. That's an air ball. by Jackson was Hamilton. Back up top, they go to Cannon. Hamilton off the front rim.
So even though this game is featuring guys who you probably won't see in the regular season, it's still an important time for these guys.
Rockets with a turnover, and to timeout we go with 5:28 to play.
This Columbus Day at Joseph A. Bank, get up to 60% off almost everything in store. Plus, Traveler and 1905 suits for $249. And all dress shirts, including our best-selling Traveler shirt, 2 for $89. The Columbus Day sale, only at Joseph A. Bank.
At Sam Adams, we take training seriously. Because there could be only one Sam Adams Oktoberfest Stein Hoisting Champion. Hold out a Stein filled with sweet, malty, and delicious Oktoberfest the longest and win. But then again, with a Stein filled with Oktoberfest in hand, aren't we all winners? It's everything you love about fall in one sip. Sam Adams Oktoberfest, the Stein-worthiest beer of fall.
OfferUp is a new free app that shows you what people are selling nearby.
It's kind of like a game. Every day there are new surprises.
Come on, flat screen TV.
Oh, come on, dining room table.
Come on, sofa.
Yeah.
OfferUp is free to use. Find anything you want nearby.
It's iPhone season and everyone's celebrating. But this year, celebrate more responsibly.
How much data did I use last night?
What did I sign up for? Hey, Jimmy, where's your iPhone season spirit? Be smart and get the new iPhone 8 from Sprint. You'll get the best price for unlimited and network reliability within 1% of the other guys.
Works for me. It's an iPhone season miracle. I'm going to Sprint.
Celebrate at Sprint, the only way to get the new iPhone 8 for $0 per month, plus upgrade to the latest iPhone anytime with iPhone Forever.
Introducing Wendy's new Giant Junior Bacon Cheeseburger.
It's a Giant Junior?
Yeah, it's a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger with double the fresh, never frozen beef, bacon, and cheese. So it's made a big name for itself. For a limited time, get the Giant JBC meal for just $5.
Carbs to refuel. Electrolytes to help replenish what you lose in sweat. Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, and refuel.
A chance to win US! Unbelievable! You want more of that? We got it. Hundreds and hundreds of live games. Monthly pricing, no sweat. Anytime, anywhere. It's that easy. To order NBA League Pass, go to NBA.com/League Pass or purchase with the NBA app.
Magnificent.
AT&T Sportsnet, your home for Rockets basketball.
5:28 remaining here in the first preseason game for both of these teams. Rockets up 98-89 as Joe Chi is on the floor for the Rockets, and a foul off the ball on Houston as well. Going to go against Isaiah Taylor. Joe Chi, the rookie out of China, spent the last 3 years playing for the Flying Tigers in the CBA as they won the championship last season. Another whistle. Originally selected by the Rockets in the second round of the 2016 draft. Ended up signing a 4-year deal this offseason. And here he is. As the Chinese Basketball Association Defensive Player of the Year, averaged almost 2.5 blocks per game.
You saw some good defense right there, using his length. He's 7'1", and he's got super long arms.
And has really worked hard, Matt, on extending his range as you see him camped out on the three-point line already. Rockets work at the corner. Shot was missed there by Chris Johnson. He was with the Vipers last year. Has been with them a couple of times in his career. Grant on Joe Chi. Deflects it away.
That out of here.
2-on-3. Johnson. Oh, boy. Undercut. Big time collision. No call. The kick out to Troy Williams, who misses the three. He's in for the first time. Foul underneath. And first foul on Joe Chi. He is a member of the Chinese national team. Did play in the Olympics back in 2016. Mentioned he was drafted in 2016, had the longest wingspan of the combine. Almost 7 feet 8 inches. Grant losing his balance, picks up the foul. He'll go to the free throw line as Joe G picks up another one.
Hey, don't miss the Rockets' annual Fan Fest for Food on Saturday, October 7th at Toyota Center starting at 10:30 a.m. This free event features music, games, rides, autographs, and a team practice. For free entrance, bring non-perishable food for families in the community impacted by the storm. Visit Rockets.com to purchase autograph passes and for additional details.
Well, the unofficial ambassador for the Rockets, James Harden's team here, Bobby Buckets. Bobby Brown has just checked in. Given some playing time at the end of last year. There's Bobby. He filled it up.
Yeah. He's got
that game in Sacramento at the end of the year.
Beautiful jump shot, Bobby Brown does. And he's a guy that you really want to have on your roster because as a backup, he doesn't need a lot of playing time. He can come in, he just adds sweat, and he's good.
Next telecast here preseason-wise on AT&T Sportsnet as the Rockets preseason finale at home against San Antonio. Coverage begins at 6:30 as Matt will be along with Clyde Drexler and Bill Worrell. Good debut for Chris Paul for the Rockets.
We're going to try to talk to him right after the game, so stick around for that.
11 points, 7 assists, a couple of steals, but I think his impact went even further than that. Here in this game, he was everywhere, was a presence on the court. Grant for Chi. Rebound for Johnson. Uh-oh. That should have been a call there.
I think the officials are...
Joe G, 4-3.
Knocks down his first one, and that's what he can do. He's got great length on the defensive end, and he can also make threes, and his entire bench, his teammates were up on that one.
Biggest thing he needs to work on, obviously, is putting a little weight on, but he is a skilled basketball player.
And his length it's, you know, in the league of huge players, his length really stands out.
Rockets whip it around the perimeter. Williams down the baseline. This pass stolen, but a turnover and a timeout. 2:45 to play here in Tulsa.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, it's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at GoArmy.com/team.
What we're going to have you do is each have a bite of 2 different burgers. One is flame grilled, the other one is fried on the flat top.
Definitely flame grilled.
So much better. What you're saying is that we should destroy this flat top.
Flat top is my enemy. Get 2 flame grilled Whopper sandwiches for just $6. Only at Burger King.
You guys are ready! You guys are ready!
Chicken, please.
Of course, I got it right here.
There's nothing there.
It's loading. It takes a little bit. Just give me like a minute, guys.
Cheers, let's get it started. Mine works.
Bob realized he needed unlimited LTE data. So he switched to Metro PCS to get the best unlimited deal in wireless. 2 lines of unlimited LTE data for only $80 period. Plus 2 free 32-gig phones. Enjoy the best unlimited deal in wireless on a reliable LTE network. Metro PCS. Wireless figured out.
Nationwide is on your side. So many things you're doing with your life. Nationwide is on your side.
Deep shot. You want more of that? We got hundreds and hundreds of live games.
A gorgeous spin.
Get the full season.
All season long.
Monthly pricing. No sweat. Oh, you just want to watch your team.
Yes, sir.
Anytime, anywhere. It's that easy. Fire it up on all your connected devices. To order NBA League Pass, go to NBA.com/League Pass or purchase with the NBA app. Deep shot. You want more of that? We got you. Hundreds and hundreds of live games. Gorgeous spin. Get the full season.
All season long.
Monthly pricing, no sweat. Oh, you just want to watch your team. Anytime, anywhere. It's that easy. Fire it up on all your connected devices. To order NBA League Pass, go to NBA.com/League Pass or purchase with the NBA app.
Preseason opener for the Rockets, Matt, and what a debut it's been for Chris Paul.
Well, he had 2 steals in the game, and everybody was wondering how his mid-range game would fit in with the Rockets' plan of shooting threes. Well, he went 2 for 5 from the three-point line. Those are the only 5 shots that he took. So I think with the 7 assists that Chris Paul had, it was a very good debut. We saw that the Rockets' offense is going to be spectacular with him.
Impressive indeed. Singler goes 1-on-2 and gets fouled. He'll be given a couple of free throws here. Of course, anytime you can add a player of Chris Paul's talents, you do so. And again, we've talked about this several times here tonight, but a lot of discussion about whether or not he and James and guys who are used to having the ball in their hands as much as they've had in their careers, can they coexist? The thing is that, Matt, this deal doesn't get done unless both James and Chris wanted it to get done. So they were willing parties, you know, and so it wasn't like it was a surprise to anybody.
And those 2 guys, James and Chris, have played together on Team USA, and Mike D'Antoni has been a coach for those guys on the Olympic team. So they all know each other, and I think with Mike D'Antoni's offensive genius, he's going to be able to use both of those guys to their strengths and really improve the Rockets' offense over what was a spectacular offense last year.
Another walk. It's got to be a record here tonight.
I think you think about Mike D'Antoni, and he says, okay, I've got Chris Paul coming in. I've got James Harden coming off of one of the best seasons that has ever happened in the NBA. How am I going to get those 2 guys to play together? This genius is going to be able to figure it out.
It'll be OKC ball, 2:03 to go. Rockets 23 of 52 tonight to be on the yard.
What do you think? 50 attempts is going to be the norm this season?
Could be. Rockets forced the Thunder into yet another turnover. Now, last year, the Rockets attempted 53s 11 times. In and out for Troy Williams. I mean, my guess is that's probably who hung on the rim as Houston's got it. Back at it, blocked by Joe Chi, and they're going to call a foul. Much to the chagrin of the Rockets bench.
I'm not sure who they called the foul on, but that was a clean block by Joe Chi. Look at Joe's length. Doesn't really have to jump. He's already up there where the ball is. 7'1" guy with 7'8" wingspan. I'm not sure what his standing reach is, but it's way up there. You know, guys like Chris Paul and James Harden for preseason games like this, no nerves whatsoever. But a guy like Joe Chi coming in, first time playing in a Rockets uniform, you know his nerves have got to be sky high, but he looks very calm and collected out there.
Top of the fact, there's a little bit of a language barrier. They're going to call another one as he and Grant get locked up and take
right side of your screen. Watch as Joe tries to roll, and they called Joe Chi for the foul right there, which I don't agree with. He got took down.
Yeah. There was a foul there. It was on Grant.
Yeah.
Now 4 fouls on Joe Chi.
Nice board. That's going to be his biggest challenge, is battling inside for the boards. He used his length really well that time.
Bobby Brown from downtown.
Downtown Bobby Brown. He's got a beautiful jump shot.
It's number 24 for the Rockets with a minute to go.
Oh, he's on it.
And more free throws here for OKC. Another look at that last one, Matt.
Whew. Just got his defender leaning back, steps to the side and drains it.
One more coming here for Ferguson.
You know, on Twitter, I got a somebody tweeted me and said, thanks for the Dan Gable reference. We just got a downtown Freddie Brown reference in. But it's downtown Bobby Brown now. Remember Freddie Brown, right?
I still don't know who Dan Gable is, even though you've explained it. Rockets up 8. Looking for 3-ball number 25. A deep one for Brown. Off the back of the yield. Singular run off the line, reaching in, coming up with a strip with Troy Williams, and he was not happy about the foul.
Yeah, hard to tell right there, but they say he got him on the arm. Yeah, Williams definitely did get in there and get him on the arm.
Yeah, left wrist area. Good call.
Troy Williams is a guy who has potential, who's going to be a good player in this league, and we're going to watch him this season and see.
Gets the rebound, tries to take it coast to coast, and gets tripped up and fouled by Hustis.
He's got a good chance to really develop in a system that fits him well.
Of course, Troy had that great debut at Phoenix last year. Rockets now 30 seconds away from getting that first win out of the way. Joe Chi on the post up. Instead on the baseline is Williams. In and out. Timeout. Oklahoma City. 16.7 to go here in the preseason opener. 104-97 Houston.
I've seen them all. Big, small, wide, slim, but never two exactly the same. Which is why at Men's Warehouse, we create the perfect fit. Because no matter what size your label says, it's time to like the way you look.
What we're going to have you do is each have a bite of 2 different burgers. One is flame grilled, the other one is fried on the flat top.
Definitely flame grilled.
Yeah.
So much better.
What you're saying is that we should destroy this flat top.
Flat top is my enemy. Get 2 flame grilled Whopper sandwiches for just $6. Only at Burger King.
We love easy and affordable.
I couldn't have done it without you.
Or rooms to go.
104-97 Houston with 16 and 7/10 seconds to go here in the preseason opener for James Harden and the Rockets. A look at the remaining preseason schedule for the Rockets. Home on Thursday against the Sharks, at New York to take on the Knicks, at Memphis to take on Marc Gasol and the Grizzlies, and then wrapping it up at home against the San Antonio Spurs right here on AT&T Sportsnet. Of course, Kawhi Leonard out for the entire preseason. Grant tried to punch it back. A great debut here tonight for Chris Paul. Looked great in his first game in a red uniform. Played extremely well for the Rockets. Did a little bit of everything. Really set the tone early for Houston in the opening quarter with his defense, the assists, and the Rockets just go crazy from 3 here in this game in Tulsa as they knocked out 24 triples. Joe Chi hit one of those 24 as the Rockets win it easily, 104-97. And again, a terrific debut for this new team, this group of new players, headlined by Chris Paul. Having a couple of words with good buddy Carmelo Anthony there at mid-court as we await to hear from him with Matt Bullard. I thought Luke Bahamute and P.J. Tucker's Houston's debuts were also terrific too. Eric Gordon was white hot, scoring 21 points on 6 made threes. But again, the man of the hour in his first game with Houston is Chris Paul, and he's standing by with Matt Bullard.
All right, Chris, welcome to Houston. How was the first game? What was your analysis of this?
It was cool. It was good to finally get out there and play against somebody else, get a little bit of those jitters out. We still got to figure things out, but it was cool.
And so with the Rockets offense, you know last year the Rockets set NBA record shooting threes. You guys came out tonight and knocked down, what was it, 27 threes tonight? I mean, it's just amazing.
Man, I don't know, man. I know it's just fun playing with the floor that open. A lot of unselfish guys, and hell, Eric Gordon, woof. Right, so we're going to keep it rolling.
So what did you like the most about the game tonight?
Probably our communication. Our rebounding can get better, but everything with us, I mean, you see what we're capable of offensively. Everything with us is going to start on the defensive end.
Well, I know everybody in Houston is glad to have you. Welcome to Houston.
Happy to be here. We got a lot of ways to go, but let's get it rolling.
All right, thanks a lot. All right, Chris Paul in his preseason debut here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hey, right now let's send it to the studio back in Houston with Kevin and Calvin.
All right, thank you very much, Bully. We're going to take a selfie here, you and me. Just like
I don't know. At Sam Adams, we take training seriously. Because there could be only one Sam Adams Oktoberfest Stein hoisting champion. Hold out a Stein filled with sweet, malty, and delicious Oktoberfest the longest and win. But then again, with a Stein filled with Oktoberfest in hand, aren't we all winners? It's everything you love about fall in one sip. Sam Adams Oktoberfest, the Stein-worthiest beer of fall.
When deciding to deal in palms, Arby's had a choice to make. Eggplant palm or the new, unconventional chicken pepperoni palm. We chose the path with juicy buttermilk chicken and slices of pepperoni. Because no offense to eggplant, but what is it? Arby's, we have the meat.